glass at the first turn bar. Your race day is whatever you want it to be. Make reservations today at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's the Hot Springs Boat, Tackle, and RV Show this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Hot Springs Convention Center. Over 100,000 square feet of boats and RVs at discounted show pricing. This weekend at the Hot Springs Convention Center, it's the Boat, Tackle, and RV Show.
Hey folks, this is David Basil for Simmons Bank. What started as a hometown bank in Pine Bluff more than 120 years ago, Simmons Bank has expanded their footprint to more than 200 locations across the Mid-South. Simmons Bank offers comprehensive financial solutions delivered with a client-central approach. Last year, Simmons Bank was recognized by U.S. News & World Report as one of the best companies to work for in the South, and in 2023 by Forbes as one of the world's best banks. The Simmons Bank Championship presented by Stevens was named the best tournament on the PGA Tour Champions by the golfers themselves. It's very rare that a first-year tournament wins an award from the players like the Simmons Bank Championship did. George Macris and his strong team at Simmons Bank can help you grow. Give them a shot and tell them Baz sent you. You can find all of their locations on the web at simmonsbank.com. With more than $27 billion in total assets, Simmons Bank continues to grow. Join me and many others and make Simmons Bank your bank. simmonsbank.com or check out a branch near you. One of the best banks in America located right here in Arkansas.
ABC Supply presents Shannon Lynn, our favorite musicologist, when he joins Morning Mayhem. ABC Supply in North Little Rock, let's get your job done together. For location and product information, find them online at abcsupply.com.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
It is Friday. What's up, everybody? Wes Moore, Joe Franklin. Let's go. What a busy day, busy weekend. It is going to be a lot of fun, and we got a loaded show today. So much to get to. I hope we can get to it all. A lot of great guests. They'll be joining us throughout the day. I got a complete breakdown of South Carolina. I spent this morning about 30 minutes taking a look at the stats, taking a look at their results, taking a look at their team, and I'm ready to break down this game. Bet Saracen has the line out. Neil Atkinson will join us at 2:30. Arkansas is favored by 2.5 points.
2.5. Wow, that's surprisingly low. 2.5.
I was thinking 3 or 4.
It's a true road game, though, so when you're on the road, it is a bit tougher.
All right,
even though we're talking about a team that's won one conference game.
Yeah, 1-14. They are 11-17 overall, but they are 9-7 at home. So they have a winning record at home, although they only have one SEC victory. They're 1-6 at home in the SEC. But listen to this. We know, and I think you've seen some of the blowouts South Carolina has had on the road. But at home, there are 2 outliers. The rest of their games have been very, very, very close. Their first SEC home game was against Alabama. Alabama blew them out by 20. The rest of their home losses against good teams, tournament teams, Auburn, Florida, Mississippi State, A&M, Ole Miss, all tournament teams. Auburn won by 3. Florida won by 1. Mississippi State won by 5 in overtime. A&M won by 4. Ole Miss won by 4. And then, of course, their victory over Texas, another outlier. They won by 15 last Saturday.
Well, 2.5 isn't surprising then with those numbers.
No. By the way, they shot 45 free throws against Texas. They were 34 of 45 from the free throw line. They put up 84 points. That was by far the most points they've scored at home in SEC play. That's because they went to the free throw line 45 times. 2 keys: keep South Carolina off the free throw line, and 2, rebound. That's it. I went looking at their SEC stats, and it's what you would expect for the worst team. They're worst in scoring offense. They're worst in scoring margin. They're worst in field goal percentage. They're 15th in field goal percentage defense. They give up – basically the other team makes about 50% of their shots, 49.5. They're worst in three-point percentage. They make 27% of their 3 points. They're worse in three-point defense. The opposing team makes almost 40% of their 3 points attempted, 15th in block shots, 15th in assists, 16th in turnover margin, 16th in the assist turnover margin. They're number 1 in rebounding defense. So when you shoot, they rebound the ball. That's about it. They hit the glass, and they hope to get to the free throw line like they did against Texas, but they haven't done that on a big occasion. That was kind of an outlier. That's why I said the Bama game when they lost by 20 at home and then beating Texas by 15 at home, that's the 2 outliers. The other 5 games against tournament teams, they lost by 3, 1, 5, 4, and 4. There you go. That's 2.5 point line.
So they are playing well at home.
They play better at home. But, they just can't – they haven't figured out how to win those close games.
Right.
It
is about getting over the hump there. And that does say that you're going to be challenged when you play against that team, though. So you can't go in there thinking that they've won one game and that's going to be an automatic win. No, it's going to be a challenge.
And they are a big team. Their best player is Colin Murray-Boyles. He's 6'8", 245. Hard to move. He does what he wants to do inside the paint. He averages about 16 points and 8 rebounds a game. Their guard, Jamari Thomas, little guard, 5'11", 190. He averages 14.5 points per game. Zachary Davis, he's 6'7", wing, about 8 points a game. Nick Pringle, another big guy, 6'10", 220. He averages about 8 and 6. Jacoby Wright, their other guard, their shooting guard, averages just 7 points a game. They bring in, remember the guy I was told you he's their kind of big man off the bench? Benjamin Bosmans Verdunk, 6'9", 240. Seriously, he's built like a football player. He averages 1.5 points per game and 2 rebounds. But those were offensive rebounds. I mean, that's what he tries to do. And he doesn't, when he gets the offensive rebound, he's not looking to score. Usually he's looking to throw it back outside. Aiden Connors, 6'7" guy, comes in off the bench, averages about 6 points a game. Jordan Butler comes in off the bench. He's 7-footer and doesn't score much. But they have 4 guys over 6'8" that are going to play in this game. So size is – look, this is a very important game once again for the 3 big guys for the Razorbacks. Big Z, need Jonas Adu because he's got a little bit more size than the other 2. He needs to play well, give them good minutes, and you need Brazil to contribute again, to be a Brazil that is effective. He doesn't have to go out and get you 12 points and 8 rebounds, but he's got to be productive in the minutes that he plays. And if he can get you a 10 and 5, just as long as he's rebounding, then that's the key. These guys need a rebound against South Carolina. Just don't give them a bunch of second chance points. They're not the type of team that's going to beat you by shooting lights out. They have proven it now, unless it's just an outlier and they have one of those freaky days where they shoot the ball really well. They should not beat Arkansas if you keep them off the glass, don't send them to the free throw line.
You mentioned that Tyler Hero's brother is on this team?
Yes. He doesn't play much. In fact, he didn't play in the last game. He's not even one of their top 8-9 scores.
That was just one that stood out when you look at the roster going through and you see that name. Right away you think there's some kind of relation, but then looking at the guy, he looks just like him. Austin Hero.
Austin Hero. They have another player that was a transfer that has been around, but I think he played at Vanderbilt maybe, but he's been injured, hasn't played since early January. But he was a contributor and a big part of their team, but losing him hurt them. I don't think he's played since the Mississippi State game early in January. But I looked for the injury report, but it's not out yet for tomorrow's game. But they're just scrappy. They're gonna play hard. They're physical. It's going to be ugly. I mean, looking at the scores for these close games, it's in the 60s, and that's what I imagine tomorrow. If Arkansas can score 70, I think they win. Because I don't think South Carolina is going to get more than like 65, 66, 67 points. I see it, hey, I'm riding it. I'm betting Arkansas. They're 8-0 against the spread in the last 8 games. 2.5 point line. Arkansas probably wins by like 4. 70 to 66. And you're not going to feel comfortable. It's not going to be a pretty game. My bet when we come in here Monday, it's like, hey, a win's a win. They escaped. They got out of there. That's all that matters. It's a W. That's the way I figured we'll be talking about the game on Monday. I'll be pleasantly surprised if we're saying, hey, Arkansas went in there and took care of business, won by double digits. Don't see it happening, but I would take it right now, but don't see it happening. And
that over-under is really low, though, 136.5. So,
and then what I just said, 70 to 66?
Yeah, but with Arkansas, they've hit a number of these overs here recently.
Because of overtime,
well,
DJ Wagner.
That one, but leading up to it. So with that over-under being really low there, it's going to be it's a good gauge of if you feel like this is going to be a defensive battle or if you think one of these teams may be able to jump out and score some more points, then you may want to go with that over.
Yeah, I would be very if it goes over, I'd feel really good about Arkansas's chances. I would love for Arkansas to be in a high-scoring game with South Carolina because I don't think there's any way that South Carolina can keep up with Arkansas as far as scoring. I think that South Carolina likes to play slow. They're very deliberate. If they get a fast break opportunity, they're going to take it, but they're not looking to run. They're a team that's going to walk it up, take their time up the court. So if Arkansas can somehow speed them up, and you wish that they had more players, maybe could do a little bit more like a full court defense, do some trapping, running, just get that tempo up, make South Carolina kind of move a little faster. You'd love to see that, but I don't know if you can do that with only 7 players, it sounds like, unless we get some really good news on Adu Thero. I'm not expecting him to play Saturday, but 7 players – slow-paced game. I think Calipari probably signed up for that and say, hey, that probably is better for what we have right now with only 7 players.
84 against Texas, though. That's scary to think about that performance. But that's the one that the one that they are standing on because that's their only conference victory.
Well, take away 34 made free throws and you get 51 points.
Yeah, but you really can't play that game where you're
let's say they get an average probably make about 15 to 18. It just doubled their average. I mean, that would have got them around 64 points, a normal free throw shooting game.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely an outlier, though, with some of the other performances. They look like they're around 67, 68 points.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, on their losses, 68, 63, 69, 60, 72 is the most they scored in a loss against A&M, 76-72, which is kind of strange because A&M's a very good defensive team too. You would think that would be a low-scoring game, and that's actually the highest-scoring SEC game at home for them besides that 84 points against Texas. They're 60s. Yeah, and that's what they average. I got their scoring offense. They average 65 points in SEC play. They give up 77. But that's on the road, too. And in the road, that's where they've laid their clunkers. You look at home, the teams scored 66, 70, 65, 76, 72. So right around 69, 70 points they give up at home. So they're much better. Yeah, it just shows you they are a much better team at home. Just be prepared. I'm just trying to prepare you. Some people will see 1-14 and go, easy win. It's not. It's not going to be an easy win, especially on the road with South Carolina and the way and the history that they've shown that they do play better at home.
None of these games down the stretch are going to be easy. They're all going to be challenges. And that's where Arkansas is in their schedule at this time, just because they still are under 500 in conference play and still trying to dig out of a hole that they created at the beginning of conference play. Now, if they win out, they can get to 500, but it's still a hill they have to climb.
Tomorrow afternoon at 5, you speaking of Vanderbilt hosts Missouri. I think that's a great game to watch. Tomorrow in the SEC, it's absolutely fantastic. It starts in the morning. Unfortunately, it's the same time Arkansas is playing a noon game. Auburn and Kentucky. Auburn at Kentucky. That's an awesome game. After the Arkansas game, Alabama at Tennessee. Fantastic game at 3 o'clock. Missouri at Vanderbilt at 5. I think that's a good game. 7 o'clock, Georgia, Texas. You think that's not that good of a game. Georgia is the last team out in Lenardi's bracket. Texas is the last team in. Georgia's first team out. Texas last team in. So if Georgia could go on the road and beat Texas, flip-flop it. Georgia's in. Texas may be out. Mm-hmm. That's a great game at 7 o'clock. And then at 7:30, A&M goes to Florida. That's a tough game. Number 12 gets number 3. Florida coming off of a loss. I think that's a big bounce-back game for Florida. at home. I think that's a tough game for Texas A&M. That is all day, noon to about 10 o'clock, 10 hours of good basketball in the SEC tomorrow. Razorbacks noon game, by the way, it is on the SEC network. And Pat Bradley's on the call. So he's the color guy for this.
Awesome.
Well, that's fun. We'll get to hear PB tomorrow calling the game for Arkansas. Speaking of Lenardi, he's got his new bracketology out, and Arkansas has moved away from that last four in and having to play in the play-in. Arkansas is now one of the four teams not having to play in the play-in game. In fact, he had his bracket out, and Lenardi has Arkansas as a 10 seed right now. A 10 seed, and they would play, in his bracket, the 7 seed, Memphis. How about that? Take a little of Arkansas-Memphis in the first round of the NCAA tournament? That would be a fun game. They were matched up against the 2-15 game. The 2 seed in Lenardi's bracket was Tennessee. So you would go Memphis. If you win that game, probably play Tennessee. That's the only negative about getting in that 10 spot. You're playing maybe an easier opponent in the first round, a 7 seed, but you're playing a 2 seed if you win that game.
Yeah, that's fine. Those second round opponents they're going to be tough anyway. Like we've seen that the bracket has balanced out a little more in recent years, where you've seen 1 seeds that are challenged in that second game, big time challenges.
Almost would rather be a 11 seed, and I know we're getting nitpicking here. Just want to get in right now. But if you're 11 seed, yeah, your first round game may be a little tougher against a 6 seed. But if you win that game, then you're playing a 3 seed. And the way I feel with this year's tournament, you got like 6, 7, 8 really good teams. So I think those 2 seeds are better. There's a wider path or a wider gap between the 2 and the 3 seeds than there is the 6, 7 seeds.
It all depends on matchups, though, where you get position, which region you're in, because sometimes you're going to be in a region with a tougher 3 seed than the 2 lines up.
I was happy to see, though, that Lenardi had rewarded them after the Texas game and has moved them up to where they're not playing in that play-in game. And they're off of that 11 line, moved down to the 10 line. And look, with their remaining opponents, if they can get by South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, both ahead of them. That would create a very important last week of the season for Arkansas. If they could keep on this roll, win at Vanderbilt, that would help you tremendously. Vanderbilt right now is listed as a 9 seed, and Mississippi State at home, Mississippi State is a 7 seed. So that's an opportunity, 2 more opportunities to increase their resume, move on up, and get a better seed for the NCAA tournament. Coming up on the show today, we got Mark the Magician at 1:30. Steve Sullivan's coming in the studio at 2:10. You have Neil Atkinson at 2:30 and Brian Edwards at 3:05 with some of his picks. So last night, Brian gave us 2 picks. The over did not hit on North Dakota, and St. Thomas missed it by, I think, 2 points. And we got a push on Cal State's San Diego. In Northridge. It was a 6-point line, and they beat them by 6.
Love about Brian, though. I mean, he digs deep. He's getting some teams that are really off the radar for a lot of people, but he puts the work in, does the research, and he's going to find those quality wagers.
Over on the D3 Auto Sales text line, we'll do that real quick before we get to Mark the Magician. Someone on South Carolina will have an all-time great game, as someone usually does against us. That's from Brian. Well, my guess would
Brian gets in with that comment every time a game's coming about, but he's right. It does happen. We see that there's a team that may not score a lot, or a player, and then that player gets highlighted in this game. That we're not looking at the player going into it. He's not one that's on the scouting report that stands out. But then you come away from that game saying, "Man, that player had a fantastic game."
Look, Colin Murray Boyles is going to get his. He averages 16 and 8, and he's a consistent 16 and 8. I bet tomorrow he's around 20 and 10. It's the key. I think the key is Jamari Thomas. Shut him down, the little point guard. Don't let him get 14. He averages 14.5-point games. Keep him below his average. Nick Pringle scares me a little bit. 6'10", 220. He averages about 8 and 6. He's a guy I could see that you look up and how'd he get 15 and 10? You know, Arkansas's big guys. They got to do a better job. They got to get him. They got to stop him. But I feel you, Brian. Wes, give me a for sure parlay. I'm searching Saracen right now. I didn't find anything. Well, I found something I really like today. Kansas State's playing LSU at 2 o'clock. They're playing in the Round Rock Classic there in Frisco. And look, LSU's good. But this is the same Kansas State team, and the same pitcher that held Arkansas last week that kept them off balance, he's pitching today. Kansas State's getting 4.5 runs on Bet Saracen. Now, it's minus like 125, 135. I can't remember the odds, but I jumped all over that. Kansas State won all 3 games last weekend. They're feeling good. They got that crafty lefty going. Yeah, give me 4.5 runs in Kansas State. I debated taking them on the money line at plus 250. I thought about it. Didn't pull the trigger. Tonight, look, A-State has been a cover machine, and they're favored by almost 20 points. I think it went down to 19.5. They're playing at Louisiana Monroe. And I say all this because Louisiana Monroe is god-awful, and Arkansas State just blew them out at home. But one of my buddies works in Monroe, and I saw his tweet, and he did a story on Louisiana Monroe's coach. He's retiring. Tomorrow's his last game. And so I feel like there's a little emotional pull. A-State's favored by 18. I just got to think that team plays super hard for him. I'm not saying they're going to beat A-State. I just worry about giving up that many points to a team that's really motivated to play hard for their coach that's retiring after this game. Just, take it for what it's worth. A-State may blow them out by 30, but I just wanted you to know that this guy's retiring and he's been there forever, and you would think it's human nature that Louisiana Monroe would give one of their best efforts of the season and play hard for him in their last game. 530 says they must win all. What do you mean they must win all?
3. The remaining 3.
I hope so. I would like to. No, they don't have to, but that would be awesome. Can't wait to see the SEC tournament bracket this year. Usually not this much anticipation about the matchups and possible matchups across each day. No, you're right. This will be the best SEC tournament they've ever had because this is the best the SEC's ever been. You look at the 8 teams that are going to get a first-round bye, I think all 8 teams are ranked. You're going to have a 9 seed that's going to play on the first day that's a good team. Now they're going to be playing South Carolina. That may be the worst game of the tournament. But you're going to have, even on the first day, because you no longer have those 4 teams, that night of misery that, those teams have just been god-awful. That's gone. First night, you're going to have 9 versus 16, 10 versus 15, 11, and so on. Your top 4 teams get a double bye. So the next night, teams 5, 6, 7, 8 will take on the winners of those games. And those are great matchups. It is, yeah, you're right. Night after night after night in the SEC tournament is going to be awesome. It'll be a fun one to go to. Fortunately, I'm excited. I'll be down in Hot Springs for the high school basketball tournament, watching some great games too. Speaking of, we got regionals going on. Starting up here in about 2.5 hours. I'm Josh Berrien, Fox 16, my weekend guys, going to Clinton. Got a great night up in Clinton. 4 good games. All 8 teams involved are right here in Central Arkansas trying to get a regional title, and they're deciding. Yeah, I talked to Kyle, and I forgot to bring this up yesterday. Real quick, I'll find the text, because we were talking about 1 seeds that lost, and it happens every year. And I was like, hey, did it happen? He goes, yeah, I looked it up for you. In 1A, Ridgeland Christian beat Calico Rock, who was a 1 seed. Wonderview lost. Spring Hill lost in 2A. Arkadelphia beat Warren. That was an upset. In girls, Clarendon 1 seed lost. Mineral Springs, Dirk, Stuttgart was beaten by Brooklyn. And Watson, maybe the biggest upset, Watson Chapel. Camden Fairview beat Watson Chapel and knocked the 1 seed out in the 4A. So it happened a lot. But now everybody is playing from here on. They've already qualified. You've got 4 teams left. All 4 are moving to the state tournament next week. These 4 are just playing for the 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed, and the 4 seed.
Just playing for seeding.
Yeah. So we got Pulaski Academy girls. They're 31-0 playing East End. Then the boys game is Joe T. Robinson and Morrilton. Great story, with Morrilton. Remember, we had Morrilton's coach on after the unfortunate passing of one of their players earlier this season. And then the other girls game, Clinton, is hosting Mills girls. We've talked about the Mills story. The Mills head coach of the girls, his wife was killed in the shooting at the mall. And then the last boys game, Mills is playing East End. Mills, the number 1 team in 4A. So you got the 2 number 1 teams in 4A playing up in Clinton tonight. I didn't think about that. Pulaski Academy girls, number 1 in 4A. Mills boys, number 1 in 4A.
It's a long trip.
Hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I looked it up.
Not as long.
Yeah, Clinton's not too bad from Little Rock.
Okay. I was thinking for some reason it was like going to South Arkansas and some of those trips.
No, not too bad. I hear Mark the Magician calling, so we need to go. We'll take a break. Got a huge show lined up. I want to talk also. They've got a proposal they believe will stop faking the injuries in college football. I want to hit on it. I like it. I think it might work. We'll discuss that in a bit. Mark the Magician's coming up next. Stick around. It is Out of Bounds.
If you don't already have the Bet Saracen Sports Wager app, download it today from the app stores or go to BetSaracen.com. Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
This is Sports Center.
Last night in college basketball, Wooded Rock fell to Eastern Illinois 70-61. Their final game of the regular season will be tomorrow against Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville at 3:30. The 2 teams are currently tied for second in the OVC. Arkansas State will play their final game of the regular season tonight at 6:30 as they take on Louisiana Monroe. Coverage for that game can be seen on ESPN+. Arkansas will go for their 3rd straight win as they face South Carolina on the road at noon tomorrow. TV coverage is on the SEC Network. Radio coverage can be heard on the Buzz. And Arkansas baseball starts their 3-game series against Charlotte this afternoon at 3 on SEC Network Plus. Radio coverage can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2 today. Tomorrow the game will be at 2 and will start on Buzz 2, then move to the Buzz following basketball. And on Sunday, first pitch is set for noon and it can be heard on the Buzz as well. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
March Madness is approaching, and Arkansas Urology has the ultimate game plan for you. Introducing the Snip and Sit Vasectomy Clinic. Take a time out, schedule your vasectomy, and enjoy the perfect recovery on the couch with your favorite March Madness games. Call Arkansas Urology today, 501-263-0926 to schedule your Snip and Sit consult for the Arkansas Urology Vasectomy Clinic the week of March 17th through the 21st, and there are some evening spots available as well. Snip and Sit, your time out for March Madness.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
What if your business could see beyond what is and into what can be? What if you could create more impact in every decision? What if you had a partner as visionary as you are? With Bank of America, you get access to our trusted experts, real-time insights, and digital tools. So whether you run a local shop or a global enterprise, you're backed by business solutions to make every move matter. What would you like the power to do? Find out how at bankofamerica.com/banking for business. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
When was the last time you went exploring in Arkansas? More importantly, when was the last time you went exploring the natural state on a Honda from Honda of North Little Rock? There are hundreds of miles of trails and back roads to discover. So if you have a passion for adventure, we have just the perfect Honda for you. Our new showroom is just that, as we show off Honda's best models of ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. We'll find you the perfect ride. Stop in today at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Edwards Food Giant presents Razorback Baseball color analyst and Drop Time Sports co-host Rick Schaefer every Tuesday morning on Morning Mayhem. Rick will share his special take on Razorback sports with the guys each week. Edwards Food Giant, the meat people, the only stop you'll ever have to make for your family's groceries.
Hi, my name is Nita Freeman, and I'm the marketing director for Chris Crane Hyundai, and we sure appreciate our partnership with the Buzz. We love their packages. They give us a lot of added value, and they are willing to go above and beyond to do anything that they need to do to make our partnership successful. They're just a great partner. They bring a lot of business to our store. Our customers always tell us that they hear our ads on the Buzz. If you want to really get some good bang for your buck, call Robert.
For more information on advertising, call me, Robert Davidson, 501-744-1279.
It's Justin Acree. If you're dealing with back or neck pain, the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health is here to help. Whether it's neurosurgery, orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, or pain management, their experts have you covered with the latest technology and minimally invasive techniques. They're focused on reducing your pain, improving mobility, and getting you back to doing what you love. Call 501-686-TOSH to set up an appointment today. That's 501-686-8674. The doctor will see you now.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. It's time for Mark the Magician, Out of Bounds horse racing handicapper.
Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty.
He's feeling it.
Please home. Look out!
Let's bring him in, Mark the Magician. Hey, Mark, what's up?
Oh, as Joe Franklin says, he's killing it. He's killing it. Yeah, that cracks me up every time I hear that. You got Joe in the background saying that. He's killing it. Well, we're going to kill it again today. Speaking of killing it, we killed it on Monday, going out the door winner. That's why I give you these little 3-horse boxes. You can do them for 50 cents. They cost $3 to do a trial box like that. The one I gave you on Monday came 11-6-1, if I'm not mistaken, paying $100.30. So, I mean, drop $3 and play it. And if you're $1 better, you made $200. Just think about that. It can add up really quick when you knock something like that out of the park. And if you're listening to Overtime and you're not flush with a little bit of cash in there, you're not listening to Overtime, is what I'm saying. I mean, it's out of bounds. What I'm saying, Overtime. Out of bounds.
Hey, Mark,
you know?
and speaking of that, he's feeling it, not he's killing it.
Feeling it. Is that what he says? Okay, he's feeling it. Okay. I always thought you said that's like learning the lyrics to a Bob Dylan song, 30 years later. It's like, oh, now that's what he was saying. Okay, here it is 10 years or 15 years later, whatever that was recorded. Feeling it now. Okay. I've got to tell everybody the new lyrics to the background vocals on that. Great day here today. It's beautiful outside. It feels like it's 75, 80 degrees outside. They're going to start dawn at Oakland tomorrow with Nancy Hopeless. I think it's around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I believe Matt Ditterman's going to be the guest. I'll be out there, too, listening. It's going to be so beautiful tomorrow. 11 races. We're starting to add more races to make up some of these we missed. So we got 11 races tomorrow and then 10 races on Sunday, 10 races today. So you're going to see a lot of that between now and that first Saturday in May, guys.
What's the big race today?
Yeah, the name of the feature race, I didn't even look at the name of it. I know there's a horse from Oakland, a Masca Parade that's coming back that loves the track. It's 20-1 in there that may get a big piece of it and knock up our tries and supers. The name of that race doesn't really have a name, so it's just an $80,000, $131,000 allowance optional. Not even optional. Yeah, it is optional claimer for $80,000. Some of these horses may be in for $80,000, and probably not many of them chose to be because these are some really, really, really nice horses in the featured ninth race today. Magic Tap's going to get all the money.
Mm-hmm.
Asmussen barn is on fire. Everything he puts on the track, him and his kids out there are just clicking. Keith Asmussen is just riding the hair off of these horses right now. I believe he's got 15 wins already this meet, and then his other son is doing really well also. So the Asmussen barn is really, really heating up. And this horse hasn't run since April of last year, so that could be a downfall and open it up for another horse in this race. Hutton runs since the Oaklawn Handicap last April and ran 5th. So if Steve has this one ready, should just dominate. But if not, that could open up a can of money for everybody in that race when that favorite runs off the board or runs second and third. That's the featured race. We got the third race coming up right now. If you got on your app there, you can go ahead and make a quick wager real quick. You got a couple minutes to put it in. Race 3, go ahead and box the 981 and the 983. 981 and 983. I believe you'll hit a little exacta there. They're both really good odds. The 9's at 7-2 and the 8's at 3-1 and the 1's at 3-1. So it's going to be very evenly bet race. Should be a $20, $25 exacta easily. And the horse I really like here is the 8 horse. It's taking a lot of late money. You're going to play one across the board, be number 8, and that's in race 3 coming up in about 2 or 3 minutes here at the track, guys.
So where are we looking next then outside of race 3? But going back to race 9 right away, what stood out? Magic Tap, Mark the Magician, Magic Tap.
Yep.
Did that name stand out to you?
I've got about 25 texts this morning. Here's my pick of the day, Magic Tap. We're betting this for you, Magician. Okay. I said, well, okay. I mean, horse has been on a long layoff, should run well. But, yeah, it does. Anytime I see a Magic horse like that, it seems like they always run really, really well also. The other horse in here is Masca Parade. There's a lot of old Robertino Diodoro horses that are with other trainers now. You really got to look at these horses, look back and see who owns them, see who trains them. This one's owned by a local guy in Little Rock, John Holloman. Had a horse of his win this past weekend. This horse won at Oaklawn, won the Temperance Seal $200,000 stakes race last March 29th. Went off at 19-1. I'll never forget that race because it was the last race of the day. It was on a Friday. We went out the door with a huge daily double in that race. The horse paying $40 to win. Horse loves the track, hasn't run since December at the fairgrounds. So that could be a downfall or it could be good. I talked to the trainer this morning, Rob Atras, that the horse is ready to go and loves the track. Not sure he'll fire first time out, but don't leave it out of your exotics. So my exacta trifecta in the featured 9th race, it'll be 4, 6, 8, and 4, 6, 2 in the featured 9th race today at Oaklawn Park, guys.
Hey, Mark, I saw there were a lot of scratches, and that means there's going to be some 13s, 14s running in. How do you play those 13s and 14s? How do you calculate all that?
There's 2 of those that you must use today. In race number 4, if you've got my plays already, you've got to throw in the 13 there. I wouldn't be surprised if the 13 dominates the 4th race. 8-2-3 and 8-2-13, you must use that one. The one in the nightcap of the last race, I don't think you really need it unless you're going to use it in the very back of your superfecta. There's another one that drew in the 8th race, race 8, number 13. That's I Got No Money. That's another Asmussen horse, Keith Asmussen riding this one. Don't leave that one out of your exactas and tries either. That race, I've got number 1, High Yaw on top. High Yaw, if you'll remember, that's one of the horses that clipped heels when my horse went down on December 15th, and this horse just hasn't been the same since then. So they're dropping this horse way down from $50,000, $60,000 claimers, $30,000, I believe, last time. Now it's down to about $20,000, I believe it is, in the 8th race. And what that is, 16. Yeah, there's some in here for 16. Then for 16,000. Yeah, 16,000. So it's really dropping also. So either they're trying to just get the win, or maybe they're just trying to get rid of the horse because he's just not performing anymore. But I do like High Yaw in that race, and it's at 9-2. That's in the 8th race today, guys.
All right, take us out the door.
Let's go out the door winner. We've done it so many times. Why not do it again? I really like this horse. This is one of my strongest plays of the day. Race 10, number 4, Barry Cosmopolitan. Number 4, Barry Cosmopolitan. This is Santana on it for Ron Boquet. Exactas tries here 4-8-6 and 4-8-3. That should get you out the door, cashing in a nice exacta and hopefully a trifecta in the nightcap. And come back, I'll be here tomorrow about 10:15 in the morning at the Crosswalk Bar and Grill. You can still get all the plays online at markthemagician.com, and you can always get them as you walk in the door. And I believe the infield's going to be open again. They had it open last Sunday for the Rebel, and I believe it's going to be so pretty out they'll have it open again tomorrow on Saturday. A lot of people coming out because all the weather's been terrible. Everybody's dying to get out of the house and make money. And how about them Hogs? Did you say, Wes, they covered 8 times in a row, I believe it is, on the spread?
8-0 against the spread their last 8 games.
Man, if you're listening to the hogs and you're listening to the horses and you're combining those, you should have a little bit of a bankroll going. And I hope everybody does, and you just kind of pay attention. If you ever have any questions, I'm always at the crosswalk. You can come over and ask me any kind of questions about how to bet these trial supers exact as 6364, and I'll take care of you there. And you can also email me at exact@comcast.net. I'll talk to you guys next Friday right here on Out of Bounds.
Thank you, Mark. Stick around. More Out of Bounds when we come back.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See shelter agents Richard Yeager or Jason Daly in Little Rock or Agent Lawrence Forrester in Cabot today.
It's the Hot Springs Boat, Tackle, and RV Show this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Hot Springs Convention Center. Over 100,000 square feet of boats and RVs at discounted show pricing. This weekend at the Hot Springs Convention Center, it's the Boat, Tackle, and RV Show.
Hello, Buzz listeners. It's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep in Sherwood, and it's the end of the month. It's Ram Truck Month, and we got the biggest discounts on all new Rams in stock. Up to $13,000 off and no payments for 90 days. Nobody beats a Fletcher deal on Rams. We also got brand new Jeep Wranglers up to $7,000 off. The all-new Jeep Compass, 4-wheel drive, starting at $389 a month. And also, on all 24 model Jeeps, 0% interest. You'll need to get here before Friday night. Everything goes back to regular price Saturday morning. Credit problems are no problem for us. If you've had credit problems in the past, don't give up. Go to FletcherCredit.com to get pre-qualified. Then come in and let us help you find the vehicle you need. Just tell us what you want and how much you want to pay. We'll do the rest. The deals are back at Fletcher Dodge, and it shows. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood, or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
Great Friday edition of Morning Mayhem in the books. Want to thank Frank Fletcher for hosting Roger and Bez. The boys are back on Monday to break down a weekend full of Arkansas baseball, Arkansas softball, Arkansas basketball, and a whole lot more. Morning Mayhem coming your way 6 to 10 right here on 103.7 The Buzz Monday morning.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Are you ready to take your classic car or vintage 4x4 to the next level? Look no further than Overland Auto Restoration in Cabot. From mechanical and performance upgrades to new upholstery and paint, our experienced team at Overland is dedicated to restoring the beauty and heritage of your classic vehicle. Give Overland Auto Restoration a call at 501-246-4372 or visit overlandautoworks.com and get your classic ride back on the road and better than ever.
Bet Saracen presents Pat Bradley every week when he checks in with Randy on Drive Time Sports. The Shooter on Drive Time Sports is brought to you by Bet Saracen, Arkansas's #1 mobile sports betting app. Download it today and win today.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet, driving, trust every mile.
Back at it on Out of Bounds. Saw some exciting news today. We've talked about it numerous times on here and previous shows. The faking of the injuries in college football drives me up the wall. I hate it. I think it's wrong. I think there needs to be something done about it, and they're trying to do something about it. And today I saw where the coaches all met, and they passed a recommendation that will now go to the Rules Committee. It's got, this is just the first step, but the coaches are in favor of this. And it will charge a team a timeout if a player goes down for an injury and the trainers have to come out after the ball is set in play. If you get hurt during the play and you're down, you make the tackle and get hurt, or you're the running back or whoever, while the play's going on and they come out, you don't get charged a timeout. We're talking about when play is dead, they pick up the ball, they move it, they set the ball down for in play, and a guy goes down with an injury.
This is just going to change the timeline of when these players go down.
Not really, Joe, because you think about it, when do they get the signal?
No, it's going to change. The teams are going to adjust. It's going to change the timeline of when these players go down.
You got to beat that referee before he gets that ball in play. Go down that hurry! Yep. Everybody's got to speed up the process.
Or stay down behind the play. Like you see that at times where the ball is 20 yards downfield and there's a player down. Stay down behind the play.
Well, this will help with the semantics, the visuals of it, because we've seen it numerous times, and that's when it's ugly. When they're there and they look over the sideline and just fall to the ground. That's going to stop this. That won't happen anymore because the team doesn't want to lose a timeout. And if you're out of timeouts and that happens, you get a 5-yard penalty. So teams don't want to do that. You're right. They're going to try to find a way around it, but this will stop the obvious, deliberate, when a team is standing there about getting ready, the play's being called in, and they realize, go down.
Because guess what they're going to do? They're going to have certain people on the sideline that are going to be dedicated to this now, where it's like you're the person that is going to signal this in, and it's not just going to be one, because if it's one and it happens repeatedly, they'll be able to see through that. It's going to be amongst several. They're going to dedicate 2 or 3 people to it, and it may be at different ends of the player's alignment. So you may have somebody at each end, and then you may have somebody towards the middle that are going to signal in. So depending on where you are on the field, that's who you look to.
I would say instead of spending that much many people on it, use all that time and effort to get a better defense, so you don't have to fake an injury. I mean, I get what you're saying, and it's not unfeasible. But you know what? Instead of going to that much trouble and having that many people and working on just stop, get better at defense so you don't have to fake an injury and go down and stop the play.
Think about how these coaching staffs have expanded, though. Not that they have analysts.
Yeah.
So it's a large coaching staff, and you can dedicate people to do certain things because of the number of people that are tied to that program.
Something to keep an eye on, see if this passes in the coming months, but it sounds like the coaches are in favor of this. Cattleman writes in on the D3 Auto Sales text line, hey, Wes, if we score more points than the other teams, then we will win the rest of our games. Thank you, Cattleman. That is a great observation. The way this year has gone, we are blessed just to make the tournament. That comes from the 501. I would say they are blessed to make the tournament because of the way they've turned the season around after starting 0 for 5. And now have won 6 out of their last 10. I don't think they're lucky or blessed to be in the conversation. I think they've started playing better basketball, and they've started winning. And that's what's got them in. 870 writes in the South region of the 4A state basketball tournament, the 7-4 boys and girls swept the 8-4. Oh, I knew the girls that happened. That's the Nashville, DeQueen, Arkadelphia, Camden, Fairview. All 4 of their teams advanced to the finals and beat the other 4 teams from the other conference. I think it was like Warren, Star City. I can't remember all 4. I didn't realize the boys did that too. I knew the girls did, and the girls, that conference is legit. We've talked about it before. Pulaski Academy girls have been ranked number 1 all year, but number 2 and number 3 has been DeQueen and Nashville. And they split their series this year. But Not only did they win their games, but so did Arkadelphia and Camden Fairview. Camden Fairview upsetting Watson Chapel. That was the big upset in that region.
That's great bragging rights for that conference and that part of the state.
No doubt. Some good basketball. Shane is in Little Rock. Hey, Shane.
What's going on, guys? I just had a quick point about the college football players faking injuries. I thought a solution, and I don't know why they don't go to this, but my thought is if a player goes down and they have to stop play due to his injury, then that player must go out and he can't return the entire series.
Yeah, that was my idea. You stole that from me, Shane.
I didn't hear you say it, so I apologize. But that seems
No,
like
I said this.
everything
I agree.
right there.
I will say this: the coaches discussed that idea, but they did not approve it. They did. They did talk about it, and I was hopeful that it would pass, but it did not. And so they're not going to send that on to the committee.
Enjoy the show, guys.
Yeah, I think it makes sense because if you're that hurt, look, I know there's sometimes you get the wind knocked out of you and the trainers have to come out, but most of the time when the trainers have to come out, it's pretty serious, and you're going to miss significant time anyway. And the rest of the series, you're probably going to miss the rest of the series anyway because once you get over there and the trainers look at you, they tape up that ankle, they examine the knee, your back, whatever it is. Usually by that time the series is over anyway, if you're really hurt. Now, I can't see, when you get the wind knocked out of you, you're ready to go. You may miss a play or two. So you would be penalizing that player. Stan's in Little Rock. Stan?
Where's my man? How you doing, Wes?
Man, I was getting worried about you. I hadn't heard from you in a while.
Oh, man, I've been around. I've just been calling off and on. You know how that go.
Well, yeah, Arkansas's been playing better, so there wasn't a reason for you to call and complain and talk about how bad they are and how they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, how about them Hogs, baby?
They are playing better.
How you doing, Freaky Joe?
Hey, what's up, Stan? How are you?
All right. Hey, man, everybody talking about a lot of people talking about they might not make it. They going to make it. They going to be all right.
Wait, is this Stan that just said they're going to make it?
Yeah, Stan. I said, listen to them. I'm going to break it down to you. They're going to be okay.
But
and long as long as Calipari, long as yeah.
He's getting into it. Go ahead, Stan.
Did you see Nolan at the game last week? Nolan was there. And they honored the 1990s.
I've been looking at every game. They're going to be okay.
The curse was lifted from Stan.
Yeah, hey, long as Calipari keep listening to Nolan Richardson and talking to him.
Yeah.
Listening to Nolan and talking to Nolan, he's gonna be all right. Yeah. They're gonna be good. They're gonna make the tournament.
No
doubt.
But
he got to keep on. He got to keep talking to Nolan Richardson. Listen to Nolan. He'll be all right. They're gonna be all right.
Yeah. All right. Good to hear from you, Stan.
Yeah. I ain't gonna say they're gonna do nothing in the big.
I didn't think you would. I didn't think you would.
No, but hey, if you keep listening to Nolan Richardson, keep listening to Nolan, talking to Nolan, they're going to be all right. So everybody get off the edge. Get off the edge, put your pipe down or whatever you're doing, your drink down or whatever you're doing. As long as you keep listening to Nolan Richardson, he's going to be all right. And y'all have a good evening.
Have a great weekend, Stan.
Man.
I need to get my drink. Why don't y'all take that away from me? I like Drive Time Sports, but that segment they have with Nolan is so good.
Oh, my God.
I could listen to Coach Richardson talk on the radio for hours.
The stories he has.
Oh, my. That's such a good segment that Randy and Rick do. D3 Auto Sales text line is Thero out tomorrow. We have not heard. It's just my speculating when I said he's probably not playing. I don't expect him to. I'm kind of going not expecting. If he plays, that's just a very pleasant surprise. But I checked in the injury report. Participation chart wasn't out this morning. It comes out in the evening. It'll be out tonight. We'll know something. All right, coming up in the next hour, we got the Razor Hog update brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV. Diamond Hogs getting ready to play. How about the softball team making their home opener here in about an hour? They've played 15 games on the road, and they finally get to play at Bogle tonight, or this afternoon. They play 2, actually. Track and field team in action at the SEC championships, trying to win another SEC title. And the women's basketball team blows one. And Steve Sullivan. It's Out of Bounds.
Randy and Rick welcome Nolan Souza to Drive Time Sports each week, brought to you by Seth Boyd with Shelter Insurance on Main Street in Jacksonville. Call Seth today for all your insurance needs, 501-982-6465.
Injured? There's only one number you need to know, 888-8888.
At Rainwater Holton Sexton, no case is too big and no insurance company too strong.
Just dial 888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton. It's Justin Acree. If you're dealing with back or neck pain, the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health is here to help. Whether it's neurosurgery, orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, or pain management, their experts have you covered with the latest technology and minimally invasive techniques. They're focused on reducing your pain, improving mobility, and getting you back to doing what you love. Call 501-686-TOSH to set up an appointment today. That's 501-686-8674. The doctor will see you now.
Reliance Bank presents Chris Kane when he joins Morning Mayhem every Monday. Rely on Reliance to reach your financial goals. Visit rely.bank for more information.
One man can't make a team.
Yeah, so what's your point?
Thanks for being part of the Buzz team.
Shut up!
1037 The Buzz. Buzz News with KARK's Claire Kreitz.
The bill that aims to add a new process for executions in Arkansas is heading to the House floor in the state legislature. Right now, lethal injection is the only option for executions, but this bill would add the use of nitrogen gas to the state's methods. The Department of Corrections lists 25 inmates on death row in Arkansas. Rescue efforts from a capsized boat on the Arkansas River takes a turn. While crews managed to get one man out of the water, now they say another is still missing. It happened Sunday night. They say the initial caller said 5 people were on the boat when it flipped. Crews were able to rescue one man from the water and get him to the hospital. Deputies say he told them there was only one person on the boat, but there was a language barrier, so their communication was limited. Later, he was able to tell another deputy that a second man, Rolando Pacheco, was also on board when it went under. Crews went back out to the river to look for him, but could not find him. This is Claire Kreitz for the Buzz Radio Network.
The Zone Hotline on 1037 The Buzz is presented by Jim's Razorback Pizza with 2 locations, Highway 10 past Taylor Loop and just off the Morgan Mall Mill exit.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
Sunny and mild today with a high of 75 degrees. Plus, it'll be a little windy. Tonight, clear sky and a low around 46 degrees. It'll be a mostly sunny Saturday and a little cooler thanks to a new cool front coming through tonight. We'll have a high tomorrow of 66. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Thompson Electric presents Jackson Wells each week in the Zone with Justin and DJ. Thompson Electric since 1983, providing innovative electrical solutions for your business. To learn more, check them on the web at thompsonelectric.com, or you can search Thompson Electric on Facebook and Instagram for more information.
Whatever you're doing this weekend, if it doesn't involve fast horses, daily doubles, high fives, and corned beef sandwiches, you may be doing it wrong. Every weekend through May 3rd, Oaklawn has live thoroughbred racing. Whether your Oaklawn is cheering from the home stretch, dining in the Bugler restaurant, or raising a glass at the First Turn bar, your race day is whatever you want it to be. Make reservations today at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
February might be short on days, but we're long on deals at Gwatney Chevrolet. Get behind the wheel of a 2024 Chevrolet Trax for as low as $299 a month. Or test drive one of our Gwatney Chevrolet cars and we'll wash your vehicle for free at Gwatzilla. So come see us at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville, or give us a call at 501-982-2102, or visit GwatneyChevrolet.com to shop our online inventory. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. With approved credit, restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Gathering Spaces is showing up and showing off. This is Pat Bradley for Whit Davis Limo Plus. You want paint that stands the test of time and color that stays true. Premium, high-hiding, and scrubbable Valspar Medallion paint goes on as easily as it cleans up to give your home's high-traffic areas the beautiful, lasting color they deserve. You can find Valspar paint at Whit Davis in Jacksonville, Sherwood, and Greenbrier. One coat coverage, maximum durability. Valspar paint.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has got it. And that includes upgrading your truck with Vortex spray liners. Tough, durable, proudly made in the USA. Their spray liners can protect your truck for years to come. Call Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse at 501-568-0040 to schedule your spray. Or stop by 65th and University.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Joe Fortenbaugh.
I'm not in a rush to reset the market for Brock Purdy. I like Brock Purdy. I don't love Brock Purdy. And I'd sit there and say, man, you have done so much for us at such a cheap price point. Yeah, let's talk. Let's figure this out. I tell the agent right from the start, if you're thinking about resetting the market, that's not happening. If you're thinking about getting to $55 million like Burrow, Love, Trevor Lawrence, that's probably not happening. And when it's, oh, well, he's done so much more than Trevor Lawrence. He's got more than Trevor Lawrence. All right? He's got a lot more than Trevor Lawrence. He has an elite head coach in Kyle Shanahan when it comes to play design, play calling, play execution. On top of that, he has had a bevy of weapons at his disposal. There are very few players in the NFL who are surrounded by more talent than Brock Purdy. And this year, when that talent kind of stepped back a little bit, it wasn't there, it was hurt, it wasn't as good, his numbers fell off.
Something amazing is happening here. The next era of AI has arrived. CDW data engineers are helping organizations harness the power of AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. The power to run workloads faster means greater productivity, giving your business a better shot at success. Intel and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Intel client.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding Group A. Please have your boarding passes ready to scan. If your phone is cracked, old, or was chewed up by your Chihuahua travel companion, please refrain from holding up the line. We ask that you kindly not be that guy, and instead simply go to Verizon and trade in any phone from their top brands in any condition on any unlimited plan for the new Samsung Galaxy S25 with Galaxy AI.
With new line on my plan. Additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio, this is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz. Your Razor Hog update on Out of Bounds is brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV with 6 statewide locations. Huge factory incentives going on now on most boat lines. Bradford Marine and ATV, selling fun since 1971.
All right. I'm just checking out the Bet Saracen app because Arkansas plays South Carolina tomorrow. Noon game at South Carolina. And the line came out. Arkansas was favored by 2.5 points. And right now the line is 1.5. It's gone down a point. I'm glad I didn't bet it. I get a better odds right now. So there you go. Arkansas 1.5 favored at South Carolina. Also, I got the Razorback baseball team. They'll play at 3 o'clock today against Charlotte. The softball team making their home opener at 3 o'clock against Iowa. The track and field teams are playing in their running in the SEC championships. The women are in first place, the men in third place. And I think that's, the Arkansas women. Boy, did they blow one last night. They were all tied up with Missouri, had the ball with 6 seconds left, throwing it inbounds on their own end, chance to win the game, and they throw it away. Missouri steals it, goes down the length of the court, gets a basket, and wins. Just a gut-wrenching terrible loss for the women. Felt bad for Coach Neighbors and those women. Izzy Higginbottom had another big game and against her former teammates, and don't get it done. Steve Sullivan's with us, and you talk about another gut punch for the program.
Yeah, I think I would have used Izzy as a decoy in retrospect because
they were all over her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had the one girl cutting behind her. You know, they were leaving someone unguarded or some area unguarded.
Somebody should have been
But
open.
then can you trust someone else on that team? You know?
You got 6 seconds, just get it in bounds, and then run Izzy back and get her the ball, and then she's probably got like 3 seconds to work with it and do something.
Well, it's going to be interesting when all conference comes out because teams that go 2 and whatever they're going don't get players. But she's put up such incredible numbers, being the focus of the other team's defense, that it's going to be hard to keep her off one of the all-conference teams.
She's got to be on one of them. I just don't think she'll be first team.
Yeah.
I don't know how many the women do.
Yeah.
They do 2. You know, do they do 8 members on first team and 8 on second team?
Who envisioned that little girl from Batesville? You know, when she stepped up to the SEC, where you got huge guards and big teams, and she sliced them up too.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to watch her play. I'll give you that. The team hasn't done well, but she's worth watching.
Yeah, and she set it up. She put them up. She went coast to coast and got the foul, got the bucket, and had them up by 2. And then they missed a free throw that would have put them up by 2.
Yeah. Oh man, I was afraid. Speaking of missing free throws, DJ Wagner, when he missed that one at the end of the game to give put them up 1, but I was still worried because there was about 8 seconds left in that game, and I thought, well, they're going to get a shot. Can you get a stop?
Yeah, they got a good shot.
They did.
But Arkansas did not foul. They made them make the shot.
Well, they fouled. They didn't get called for a foul.
And then the putback was just late. But, hey, I like the way they functioned when they were down 1 at the end of regulation, and they were down 3 in overtime, where they didn't panic. They went inside to Big Z in overtime, and give DJ Wagner, he missed the free throw, but he made the refs make the call. He went barreling in there.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen that a lot from Arkansas teams. I mean, that at the end of the game, Cal's teams have functioned pretty well in those end-of-game moments.
Mm-hmm. There have been – I can think of – I wish Nelly would have gone barreling in against Oklahoma instead of trying to reverse crazy acrobatic layup. Just go in, take it strong, try to get fouled. But you're right. DJ just went in hard, and the guy wasn't even close to getting set, and he ran into him. And you had to call that. Yeah. They weren't giving Arkansas many calls in the second half. They were only 5 team fouls late in the game.
I was wondering if we're ever going to be able to shoot free throws.
Getting the bonus. That was one of the problems. You know, at the end of the game, you try to get to the free throw line, and Arkansas couldn't get to the line because LSU had 4 team fouls, and they kept fouling, and Arkansas just had to side out.
I want you guys to weigh in on this. And this is not a shot at Muss, but I was always disappointed when I watched Muss's teams, knowing what a student of the game he is, that they didn't draw up more plays coming out of timeouts or after the game or in end game moments. I sense this staff.
No, they do.
They're drawing up a lot of stuff. I mean, for these guys at the end of games, out of bounds plays. I love that play where they went back line to back line and then got into Nelly and he got fouled.
I have gotten to where I now watch after a timeout to see what they draw up because they do that.
Yeah.
And now I wish they would take some time and work on their inbounds underneath the basket instead of just throwing it up high to Big Z.
Yeah, I think
that play needs to be scrapped.
Yeah, and I think Muss was the type, he got it just in his best player's hands and let him go.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out sometimes. But I was kind of disappointed, that guy being as, probably one of the top minds in college basketball, that he didn't have these just great plays drawn up.
Well, and I think part of it, too, is Calipari's staff.
Yeah, he's got a great staff.
He's got a great staff, and so I think some of the ideas come from them, and Calipari signs off on it. I think one of the criticisms you can make for Coach Muss and his staff, partly because he's so hard on the staff, he couldn't keep anybody around, and it was always a rotating of assistant coaches, and sometimes he was, I don't know about the quality of some of the assistants.
They even had one that was really interesting where, and they talked about it on the broadcast before it happened because they saw it in practice, where one guy stepped out of bounds, he passed it to another guy that's out of bounds, and then steps in.
Great play.
Yeah, trying to get that inbound, making sure you don't get the 5-second call there.
Yeah, you want your coaches making calls like that, and hey, it's just been, I'm just happy that they're still viable, this late in the season, the way things were going, and it's just incredible just in sports in general, especially basketball, the margin between winning and losing with Texas and Arkansas on that play, I mean, even after the game, Kenny Payne just said this could have gone either way. If that shot falls, I mean, hit everything else, Trey Johnson. Why didn't that fall?
Yeah.
At the end of the game.
No, that dude was so – and I said this. I hated it was happening against Arkansas, but I enjoyed watching him play because he put on a show.
Yeah, and he talked the whole game. Man, I love when who was it? Carter Knox just blew by him to the hoop late in the game for a big bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he doesn't play the greatest defense. Usually if you're that good offensively, you're not that elite defense.
Well, they attacked him in the first half and got 2 fouls.
Yeah.
They
did. Yeah.
They tried that and I was irritated. They couldn't get a foul called on offense in the second half to save their life. And
I was listening to Lamont Paris today, and he was talking about opposing three-point shooters against them, and he's determined they're jinxed. And so Arkansas needs to hit a few early. He said they played A&M, and he said Wade Taylor, post-injury, was shooting 26% from three-point range, and he hit 7 of 10. And he said he hit 2, I could hardly see him.
Draped all over him.
And he said teams are banking them home against us. And he said he thinks it's cosmic. He said, that they're trying. He said, but these teams just keep hitting 3-point shots. And he said a lot of that maybe it's a game of confidence. And when they see the guy across from them, they get confident.
Well, I pointed it out earlier. South Carolina is 16th in the SEC in 3-point defense. They're giving up almost 40% to the opposing team.
And they don't give up a high number of threes. They give up a great percentage, but that Taylor one got him with the, you do all these numbers, and Wade Taylor had been in a funk, and he comes to their place and hits 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that'll skew the percentage a little bit. So maybe Nelly, Big Z tomorrow.
Yeah. You mentioned, though, you got to keep them off the line. Make them earn their points. They can't get second chance points, and they can't get that's the only way they beat you because they can't shoot.
No. 45 free throws against A&M. That's or against Texas. That's why they won the game.
And let's be honest, Arkansas is capable of a massive drought at any time in the game, like they had at the end of the game. So this could be a battle of droughts. Is who goes the longer without scoring on Saturday afternoon, and it could be a very low-scoring game.
What do you think? First look at the 7-man rotation and the possibility that they may have to play that way for a while.
I didn't miss Thero. And I hate, and that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, it was, maybe because Brazil played so well, and you got some production out of Adu.
Mm-hmm.
That little baby hook he has, and how about him stepping up and hitting those 2 free throws? It's hard to shoot when there's no one on the line with you. Even good shooters miss then.
And he's a bad shooter.
In 2 pure shots.
He's like 50% from the line.
But,
and he goes up there, and he didn't touch the rim on either one of them.
Hey, it's a great sign when they send Adu and Brazil to the post-game presser. It's not good for us for sound, but it's a great visual for the team, the 2 guys that have been struggling.
No, if they go to the press conference after the game Saturday, Arkansas wins.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, and that's Kenny Payne had a great bite about Brazil, saying that he doubts himself. So when he gets off to a tough start, he kind of beats himself up, and I think they need to adopt the Nelly philosophy. Just keep firing.
We had a texter or caller the other day that wondered if it was just a boost to Brazil's confidence just starting, that maybe – him not getting the minutes, him not, playing, starting, had affected his mentality,
Payne said
confidence.
Hitting those first 2, he think made the difference, that he knocked down those shots. And he said he's a great athlete, a great player. He's just got to believe he's a great player. I think these assistants, more than anything, do a great job lifting these guys up. I did see one of those Razor's Edge where Kenny Payne just went after him at halftime. The 2 of them. I mean, he basically just blew into them about not getting rebounds. Least you can do.
Oh, and they used some choice words too.
Yeah, he did.
I saw that.
And that seldom happens now in the Razorback locker room.
Yeah,
Muss wouldn't let cameras in there. Who knows what he was saying? but these are pretty, G-rated. That was the first time, and Kenny Payne was frustrated, had enough.
Yeah, Brazil's fragile. Musselman may have broke him.
Yeah,
without
a doubt.
That's probably part of the problem. They're trying to build his confidence back up. Now, he said, Coach did say with Chuck after the game, because, Calipari was sick, he said they saw this in practice, that Brazil has been practicing so much better that they felt like this was coming.
And I hope he's been practicing well. I don't anticipate Thero to play. I mean, he's out in Los Angeles getting that knee looked at.
He go to L.A. now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's where he went.
I thought he went to New York, they said.
No, L.A. They said they said it during the broadcast.
I thought they said New York. He flew to New York.
Yeah, either way, he went a long way.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I got it. I thought they said New York.
Yeah, it reminds me a little of the Nick Smith deal that his people, this is a commodity too.
Mm-hmm.
That they want to make sure that playing won't further this injury, and the more people you get involved looking at this, the less chance he has coming back.
Yeah, I read it as because the relationship Calipari has with his dad, the family.
Yeah,
that it's almost like we're going to make sure on this.
Yeah, I think that's it. Musselman got mad at Nick Smith because he wanted his people he didn't want him leaving Fayetteville. And I think a great sign for this team is seeing Boogie Fland. I mean, this guy's future's the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still wearing his jersey on the bench. He's into the games. He goes to the road games. I mean, this guy's still a part of that team.
Yeah.
And in the back of your mind, you hope when you suit up for the NCAA tournament that he takes the sweats off and he plays. And he gives you hope every time he shows up on the bench. But good for him. In this me society, he could be somewhere with his agent getting ready for the NBA draft.
They do seem like a close-knit team. You even see the players who don't play.
Yeah,
they're all in conversation during the game.
Hey, those guys wouldn't have
sitting right in the middle of them.
Those guys wouldn't have scholarships otherwise.
And I like that they FaceTime Thero after the game.
Yeah,
in the locker room.
Yeah,
that shows that how involved they are, even though he's not there.
Yeah, we can't afford any more FaceTiming, though. I mean, first it was Boogie, then it was Thero.
That's what we said about Big Z. And he was holding his back.
Wow.
I mean, gosh, if that back tightens up or whatever, and they got 6.
Yeah, how about overtime when they just threw it into Big Z, and he hasn't been the most comfortable just operating in the low post, and he got him 6 straight points, and he went right through him for one jam. He just walked right through a guy, and I thought that was just a. The guy doesn't seem to have any nerves. He doesn't mind the moment, but he took over when he needed to.
I like the play where he drove. He actually dribbled it 3 times, but it scared me every single time, and then gave it up to Brazil for the layup.
Yeah.
I was like, there you go.
And
I don't like him dribbling, but
no. But he wants to be that European big guy that can do it all.
All right, baseball team's getting ready. They start up in 40 minutes at Baum. I got the lineup from the desk of Dave Van Horn.
Both Aloys better be in there.
Both Aloys are in there. I guess they're starting a lefty. Charlotte may be throwing a lefty because Diggs isn't in the lineup.
Yeah.
But Aloy is, and Aloy has only been playing against lefties.
Yeah.
But he's your starting designated hitter, hitting 5th behind Iredale in the cleanup spot. Kozel's at first base. They have Maxwell out in right field.
Yeah.
So his hamstring must be feeling better. Souza is your second baseman. They're giving him another shot.
Yeah. The Kozel at first base shows me that they want to be more offensive. Because I don't think he may be the best defensive guy, but he is hitting the ball so well.
That's the only thing that scares me. Him and Rocco are both shorter first baseman.
Yeah, that's right.
That reach isn't quite there.
He even mentioned that last game when Aloy made the error that we should have brought in our tall first baseman, whoever that is.
That is it?
It's not Robinette, is it?
Well, Robinette has played a little further. He played midweek. He is taller, but the JUCO guy they brought in, he hasn't played much.
Yeah.
He was in the conversation, but he is your legitimate tall first baseman that's like 6'4", 6'5".
Hey, they spent some money because they brought in a lot of folks, a lot of good players. I mean, these 2 lefties, they were both viable starters last year on major college teams. That they cost money. It's tough to get a lefty, and they got 2 of them.
Yeah, we've tried to talk about the depth of the pitching staff, but you're already seeing it in the SEC where some teams are still on Sunday. They don't know who's pitching on Sunday.
Yeah, we're
Arkansas had 4.
Yeah.
So they were having to drop one of them for their first series, and now it pays off. Can you imagine an SEC team? They only have 2 starters, and one of those 2 go out.
Yeah.
Now you're really scrambling.
I like having 2 lefties. I think, we saw with Hagen Smith how effective. The lefties we've had at Arkansas have been so effective, and now we have 2. And as long as they throw strikes, I think you're fine with Dave Van Horn.
I like Zach Root a lot.
Yeah.
He
had 10 strikeouts in 5 innings.
He throws some nasty stuff, different pitches, different speeds. He's a pitcher, not a thrower. And I just like him.
I like what I've seen from Vital Cheese.
Yeah.
He seems to be the classic lefty. Has heat and has a little bit of breaking ball, but comes off the mound, and it's hard to follow that ball. And I just hope our pitching, and we need Gackle to have a good game today.
Bounce back game.
Yeah, just locate the ball better, and we're gonna miss Hagen Smith because he was just. We've been so lucky when you think about it to have him. And then our reliever
a run of aces
pitched every game, and
they have had studs.
Yes, they've had some of the best pitchers in college baseball.
Honestly, over the last close to a decade now, you can go back that they've had a great Friday night starter.
That's why I say it's incredible that we've kept Matt Hobbs this long, and because pitching is so important, and he seems like a great clubhouse guy, where he could be a good head coach, but Vitello held out for Tennessee, and I think he's probably holding out for a good head coaching job.
Oh, I'm sure he's been offered.
Yeah,
it just hasn't been. What he's wanted.
How much easier does it make Dave Van Horn's job? He's getting older. He doesn't have to.
Well, after the series in Arlington, they said when the Gage Wood went down, and one of the guys said, "Well, I assume you'll put Battle Cheese up in. He'll be your Sunday starter," and he's like. We'll have to talk. I'll have to talk to Coach Hobbs about that. It's like that's his guys, and he's going to let him decide about the pitching.
We don't have a great pitching coach if you don't let him make the decisions. And I imagine Van Horn weighs in some, but I don't think he ever makes it just by himself. I think he has enough respect for him.
I agree.
And I think that's why you get great coaches coaching for him, because he lets them coach.
And you're hopeful that it matches up where run support is there for these pitchers when they're pitching well.
You don't want to. I looked at Charlotte, and they haven't done much this season. They've been okay, and that's that. You should pound them.
You should. Yeah, you should. They need to keep the bats going,
especially with nice weather today.
Yeah,
I don't know which way the wind is blowing, but that'll be a factor. And I was impressed with the way they pitched. Most of the guys in Arlington, they didn't hit extremely well in any game. Even the Michigan game. Yeah, they got off to a great start, but just really couldn't. They more capitalized on Michigan's mistakes.
It is windy in Fayetteville today, 69, great weather, but it is blowing 18 miles per hour right now. So it's a west-southwest wind, so it's going to be blowing basically across the field towards left field.
I think the softball team had the right idea. They're playing their home opener today. Get out, Arkansas. They went to California. They went to
Central Texas, Southwest Texas.
That's a lot of games get in a short span too.
Yeah, think of how many they've lost one.
14-1.
All in neutral sites but away from home. But you get away from the weather.
Yeah, no, that is smart.
And it's going to be cold Sunday.
Dave looked like a genius last week when it was snow on the ground in Fayetteville and they're playing inside the dome in Arlington.
I think that's something he's going to play every year.
I'm sold. I want to go down there one year now. That sounds like a great weekend. 3
games indoors.
Yeah.
Against good competition.
Yeah. And $20 a ticket, they were telling us.
Really, $20?
And that's for both. Yeah. You can go to the other game, too. So $60 for the entire weekend.
Beats the heck out of Flow Sports. My God. Will they not get better?
It was Matt Jones who was with us Monday. The talk was this weekend that Flow Sports is out, and they're going to go with probably the Rangers provider with their new network, with Bally Sports being out. Now they've created their own sports media, and they believe that the Rangers will be in charge of that next year.
If it's any worse for other teams, or it's just Arkansas and people piling on that bandwidth, that we have more fans than say they can handle.
That makes sense because Friday it was okay, no issues. Sunday was okay, but Saturday night, it was everybody. Everybody I talked to, it was buffering, it was rewinding, it was jumping back.
Right during a big Aloy at bat when he doubled.
Well, to start the game, I watched Davalon strike out like 5 times. Because it would reset, and then it would go back, and he would strike out.
Kind of like the Buzz app. Sometimes I'm listening, I hear a repeat of it once, twice. Not all the time. It just happens every once in a while.
Anything with high school basketball got your eye?
Not yet. Maybe Mills girls. The fact that that all that coach has been through, Coach Gregory, and we all know his wife was killed in that Park Plaza shooting. But more than that, I assume Mills and McClellan girls are going to be bad. When I heard he was coach of Mills, I flipped on their thing and I thought they'd be like 1-18. Mm-hmm. No, they're viable. And I don't know how far they go in And they're highly athletic. They really get after you. I don't think they're great shooters, and it's a tough division, And they did a good job getting to the. It's tough in 4A just to get to the state playoffs.
True. Yeah.
You could hook up with a conference that's better than you and run into a 4 seed that and you're out.
That's what Watson Chapel. They won their girls won the Conference 8 in 4A.
Yeah.
And they got upset in the first round of the regional, and now they're not even going to the state tournament.
Yeah, isn't that's it's just 4A? It's just so many schools that it doesn't exist in 5A. If you finish 6A and 7A, you've finished in the top 6 or whatever in some of those divisions you get in the playoffs.
Kyle Sutherland sent us a list. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 upsets in boys and girls 4A, 3A, 2A,
Wow.
1A.
Yeah,
you're done. You're out.
Yeah, but
you're
the
not going to the state
reality
tournament after losing that first
reality
game.
is the better team is getting there, though. That's you hate to say that, but it's probably you got matched up with a conference that was, it's all about matchups in high school basketball, and it scares me. I was looking at Mills' game the other day. I was hoping he'd advance, and it wasn't easy. They won by 12.
Well, tonight they play Clinton at Clinton.
Yeah,
so it's going to be tough.
That's a good test for them.
But they're in. They're in the state
Yeah.
tournament. So
yeah, and it's a big accomplishment for Mills girls to be in the state tournament.
Are you going anywhere next week? Are y'all going to try to go to any state tournaments?
Well, Jack will go anywhere.
Oh, he's going to have to go somewhere far.
I know, that's what I hate. I mean, I beat this drum all the time. I mean, it's until you make it financially more appealing to schools to host it without their team being in it, you're going to go nowhere with this. I mean, the games are closer to Louisiana and Missouri and neighboring states, and then I go back a few years. You go to a place like Alma, and good luck playing one of their teams in the first couple of rounds.
Oh, yeah.
And Magnolia I love having it in South Arkansas, but that's a long trip. And then you got one over in Northeast Arkansas, and
Northwest Arkansas's got the other one.
And basketball, home court is such an advantage. That's why I wish you'd make them more central, and no one has the home court.
Yeah.
If Conway wants to host, they host the 5A.
Or have UCA host.
Yeah.
Or have in Little Rock host. The Trojans have it there at the Stevens Center. And if you want to have one at Southwest, then you put the 4A or 3A or 6, as long as it's not the 6A. It just makes more sense
that no one has the home court in high school basketball because officials are humans, and when they have a huge crowd, they can be influenced, and that happens.
I think, and I was talking to Kyle about this earlier this week, how cool it would be. And look, some of it's selfish. It'd be easier and better for us.
It'd be better for the kids coverage-wise.
But you think about it, if you had all classifications in the metro area playing in the state tournament, everyone would be covered. You've got plenty of places to stay, hotel rooms.
Yeah.
There are places that are holding a regional that you can't get a hotel room.
And people forget you're going to play multiple games in these tournaments.
Yes, you hope to.
Yeah.
You hope to be playing like Tuesday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
And so you got hotels, you got restaurants, you got everything you want right here. It could just be like a basketball festival for the state tournament and just blow it out, and then the winners move on to Hot Springs and we blow it out again.
I talked to someone who hosted, and they said they made $500 in the tournament. And that's
it's not worth the trouble that they. I mean, you got to get all the volunteers and all the people from the school working there, security and all that. It's a pain to host.
Yeah, and you don't. In the AAA, I gets most of the money, and if that's what they need to function as a group, then we do it that way. I don't know their finances, but I just think I just can't. Basketball just bothers me. I've seen so many times. I remember Archie Goodwin and had a great team at Sylvan Hills, and they got Alma in the first round. It was like 63-62. They escaped, but a neutral court, it might be 60-40.
Right.
And Alma got hot. The crowd got into it. And it's a game, and it's just I just worry about these, especially the teams that are hosting. Farmington had a tough blow last year with their draw. I forget where they went, but they went. It'd be an outlying part of the state. It'd be somewhere, Oh,
I can't remember, Steve. I'm right there.
Hey,
with
but
you.
I saw that you see the note that Calipari wants to. Increase the number of jerseys from 2 to 15.
Yeah. No, that's a no-brainer.
How many guys we know like Joe Klein and Darrell Walker around here?
Well, Joe was on here Monday, and
how much would it mean to him?
It was, well, he didn't even mention himself.
Yeah.
I mean, he's talking about some of the greats. I mean, you start with Todd Day.
Yeah.
Like Big O said, how is he not in the rafters?
And Lee Mayberry. You know, and to an extent, why about Oliver Miller? You know?
Go back to Ron Brewer.
Yeah, Ron Brewer Sr. And what about Marvin Delph?
And Brewer.
Or Scott Hastings. I mean,
we could go on and on.
You can get 15.
Yeah.
You know, hey, the Boston Celtics are probably the most famous sports organization, and they've honored more guys than any other organization. I mean, and they still have numbers for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I mean, and you don't hear them complaining.
I'm fine if you wear them. You don't have to retire the jersey, but at least hang the dang thing so that it can be honored.
And I don't even mind if they retire the number. I mean, there are how many numbers are there out there? It's 99. Look at the Celtics. The Celtics still have numbers. You don't hear. You know what they're. You know what the Celtics are shooting for? Where they tell those guys, you're shooting at immortality. That's how they keep Jason Tatum in Boston, because you want Paul Pierce wanted his jersey up in the rafters. And you know, in a short time, if you have with Cal, I think it's a possibility. If you have an incredible 2-year or even a 1 year and you go to like the Final Four, you may become so popular that you get your jersey in the rafters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the whole dynamic is going to change now with the NIL. I mean, you got to be, you know, if Big Z were average 25 points and 24 rebounds a game next year or something, he'd have a shot.
No doubt.
You know, I don't think it's going to happen.
Steve, great stuff. Good conversation. We flew by. We held you long, but I enjoyed the talk.
Yeah.
Thank you, and I hope you have a great weekend.
You too.
Yeah. Steve Sullivan with us. He'll be back next Friday. We got to take a break. When we come back, Neil Atkinson's ready to go. We will talk to him about some of the weekend things they have on Bet Saracen. Stick around. It is Out of Bounds.
Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse presents Match Game on Morning Mayhem. Listen for your chance to play their version of the classic TV game show. Brought to you by Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse, Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters for over 30 years. Call 501-568-0040 today or click online at arkansastruck.com.
This is Sports Center.
Last night in college basketball, Wooded Rock fell to Eastern Illinois 70-61. Their final game of the regular season will be tomorrow against Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville at 3:30. The two teams are currently tied for second in the OVC. Arkansas State will play their final game of the regular season tonight at 6:30 as they take on Louisiana Monroe. Coverage for that game can be seen on ESPN+. Arkansas will go for their third straight win as they face South Carolina on the road at noon tomorrow. TV coverage is on the SEC Network. Radio coverage can be heard on the Buzz. And Arkansas baseball starts their 3-game series against Charlotte this afternoon at 3 on SEC Network Plus. Radio coverage can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2 today. Tomorrow the game will be at 2 and will start on Buzz 2, then move to the Buzz following basketball. And on Sunday, first pitch is set for noon and it can be heard on the Buzz as well. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
This Valentine's Day, let Red River Auto Group be your matchmaker for the perfect ride. Get up to $15,000 off MSRP on the legendary 2024 Ram 2500. We're covering your sales tax on all new Toyotas and Fords in stock. Or take home the best-selling 2024 Ford F-150 Lariat with up to $11,800 off MSRP. We've also got vehicles starting as low as $8,900 at Red River Pre-Owned. Shop us online at redriverauto.com.
If you have a passion for adventure and unmatched quality, then head to Honda of North Little Rock for the best lineup of quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. They have Honda's best models and will find the perfect ride just for you. That's Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Roger Scott for Family Market Stores. Hey, we get it. You've got options. You could shop anywhere for grocery, snacks, or gas. But you know what? You chose us, Family Market Stores, and we couldn't be more thrilled. So we've got a little something to show you just how much we appreciate you. Save 5 cents a gallon every time you fill up with your Family Market Rewards card at any of our 4 locations. Craving a large fountain drink or a fresh cup of community coffee? That's another 5 cents off a gallon. Hydrate and save, people. It's genius. Use your rewards card inside any Family Market location to stack up on even more savings. You'll wonder how you ever shopped without it. Oh, and don't forget Big Monday. Mid-grade gas at the price of regular? Yes, please. And if you're cruising down I-40, stop by our brand new Mayflower convenience store. Grab a fresh Bahama Mama, fill up your tank, and fuel your adventure. Family Market Stores, saving you money and making you smile in Pangburn, Malvern, Shannon Hills, and Mayflower. Shop smart, save big, and stay awesome. Family Market Stores.
Bannister Leibwang presents UCA Bear Lane Taylor when he gets in the zone with Justin and DJ each Wednesday. Lane Taylor in the zone every Wednesday, courtesy of Bannister Leibwang Clinic in Conway, taking care of Conway for over 60 years.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
What up, y'all? Yeah, soundtrack, what's poppin', baby? Y'all ain't know, I go by the name of Lupe Fiasco, representing that first and 15. Yeah, and this one right here, I dedicate this one right here to all my homies out there grinding. You know what I'm saying? Legally and illegally. You know what I'm talking about? So, check it out. First got it when he was 6, didn't know any tricks. Matter of fact, first time he got on it, he slipped, landed on his hip and busted his lip. For a week he had to talk with a list like this. Now we can
Welcome
end the
back.
story right here.
It's Out of Bounds. Glad you're with us on this Friday. Let's bring in Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen. Hey, Neil, what's going on?
Man, it's a beautiful Friday afternoon. I'm already mapping out my basketball and baseball viewing for tomorrow and a little bit on Sunday, and getting ready for what is going to be the madness of March. And especially after the last couple of weeks with the Razorbacks, I am so glad that the Razorbacks are pretty much in the tournament as long as no disasters happen the rest of the season, and it's looking pretty good. And I'm excited about that. And I know the fans are really, really excited about it too, with what's coming up.
What are some of those games that stand out to you, Neil, that you're looking forward to and you're getting a push on numbers, wagering-wise?
Yeah, of course, I'm going to start out early, with the Arkansas game. We'll probably have our biggest liability on that one, and I'm glad it's the early game because when it's the very, very last game and Arkansas wins, that's kind of rough on us on the book because all the betting's done for the day. So if Arkansas does win, at least most of the time the players do put it back into play, but after the Arkansas game, of course, I'm going to be watching the Auburn at Kentucky game. We're seeing a nice action on that particular one. Mm-hmm. Then I'll go into Texas Tech at Kansas, and then of course I'm a Tennessee fan, but this should be a great game for the SEC too. Is Alabama at Tennessee? I think that's at 3:00. Then I'll wrap out the night with Arizona at Iowa State, and then on Sunday I've got Wisconsin at Michigan State circled too. So. Those are the main games right there that I'll be watching, and I'm pretty sure over the next 24 hours that's where most of our liability will be on those games right there.
I think most people have taken advantage of the lines for the Razorback the last 8 games. I've got them. Now, I know some people got it at 5.5 the last game, but I think the majority of the players got it less than 5.5. But Arkansas is 8-0 against the spread the last 8 games. Are bettors taking advantage of that?
Absolutely, and I heard you on Wednesday saying, "Gosh, this game has got to go over, and Arkansas has to cover." And I think they took your advice because I think we had one of our biggest payouts this year.
Awesome.
On Arkansas versus Texas. I mean, we paid out right at $250,000.
Great.
In winning wagers on that game. So. You don't have to be so accurate when you give your picks, Wes.
I'm not always accurate. I got somebody on me right now about my Mavericks pick for last night. So
I know.
I'm not 100%.
Well, I learned a long time ago I couldn't beat them, so I joined them. So that's kind of why I'm on this side of the business. But I've learned a lot more since then. But sports betting is really fun. And look, I'm doing some investigative work for our data providers on who does the best odds, and I'm not talking about the best odds for the book, but who has the most consistent odds and move with the markets faster and keep the markets up longer for people to bet them, especially the live and in play. So I'm getting kind of deep, getting ready for next year already. But the technology in this business is changing so fast. But I'm loving it. And you know, if you're in the sports betting business, everybody loves the Super Bowl. I don't. It's one game. I love March Madness because we got game after game after game, and every one of them means something. Because once we're in the dance, it's win or go home, and you see some great basketball. And I know everybody likes to make some money during the NCAA tournaments, and the way you make money in the NCAA is not betting all the favorites. Generally, you got to pick a few Cinderellas in there to get your upsets.
Neil, with double R props and Arkansas specials, it seems like every time you take a look at this game to game, there are even more options to choose from there.
Yeah, me and Randy has been picking my brain, and we've been going back and forth with our traders and our risk team to try to get it dialed in a little bit. And one of the other things we were doing is that some of the numbers that we were using, we weren't we weren't happy with some of the odds that my risk team was placing on them, just based on their numbers, and we've tweaked it a little bit to try to get some higher paying parlays. And as a note about the double R's, they had their best performance for the players on Wednesday night too, because overtime really helped that out, and some of the bigger payouts did go out on that night. And of that $250,000 we paid out on that game, the double R props were about 12 to 14% of the full payout for that market. So people took advantage of them big time, and we expect to see that tomorrow also.
Neil Atkinson with us from Bet Saracen. Neil, I really like that bonus money for the 4-leg parlays. I got my first bonus bet, and I turned it around and made it a winner. So that was double nice for me. And are people taking advantage of it?
Absolutely. And just as a reminder, if you're already a player, make sure you go to that promotion page and opt in under that. And that way, all of your bets that week, and we try to get them deposited in there on Monday. And we saw a lot of free play be used on Monday, so people are really gravitating towards that. And if you're not already on the Bet Saracen app, we now have a welcome offer too. Make sure you put welcome offer when you hit the registration button if you're a new customer. And we've got a nice little promo there. You make your first $25 bet. Once it settles, we'll put 5 $25 bets for a total of $125 in your account for you to use over the next 7 days. We're calling it basically our no strings attached promotion, because we want our promotions as simple as they can get. And that's the beauty about the parlay one too, is you're making these parlay bets anyway. So that's where you're getting rewarded for that, and we're happy to see that. And we'll be doing some more promotions as we get closer to March Madness. That will be fun also. Are you
seeing a common issue that the users are doing wrong when they sign up to not get the when they first start the promotion for new users is the one I'm talking about, that they're doing something wrong to not get it activated? Is there advice that you can give, or if there's someone who feels like they haven't got their money, what's the best thing they need to do?
Well, if you signed up anytime since a week ago Monday, right at 2 weeks now, and you did not get it, call our customer service and they'll be able to look. Now, at first, you had to type in the promo itself. Now we've got it where if you hit the registration button, it should auto-populate the welcome code. So if you're signing up and don't even know we've got a welcome code, it should qualify it for you now. We didn't realize that. Well, we thought people would be able to put that welcome code in there, and then when we had that problem, we went to our tech vendor. I said, "Do you have a solution for us?" And they go, "Yeah, let us do something." And so we're pre-populating that welcome promo code in there for first-time sign-ups. And when I've tested, it's worked. There's a few times that it may not populate, but it should be there now whenever you sign up. And again, if you had any problems with it, contact our customer service. They're great at getting you taken care of.
The banner on the homepage, you have some combat sports features there with Tank Davis, Lamont Roach, and then UFC 313 coming up.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's next weekend, but we got the Friday night UFC fights and the boxing. We have subscribed to the PBC and Danzen Sports to where we can get most of those non-marquee pay-per-view events that are going to be on the sports book all the time. But we will have every one of the UFCs for this year, 313, and I'm understanding that the cards for 314 and 315 are going to be out of this world. But, March 8th is the UFC, and then we have the regular boxing going on right now. And we do buy the big boxing events also, and we're adding a whole bunch of TVs. We've tried to have them up before the Super Bowl, but you know, supply chains and vendors getting the walls set up right and the wiring right and the equipment coming in. So we're adding 16 extra TVs to the sportsbook area. So we'll be able to put on just about anything that you want because we're subscribing to all of the major sports packages, especially these UFC and these boxing events now.
Neil Atkinson with us from Bet Saracen. Neil, from time to time we get questions here at the radio show about why they can't bet the horse races on Bet Saracen. Will you explain to everybody why they're not able to do that?
Well, Arkansas law says horse racing has to be pari-mutuel, and we don't have it yet. Now, we don't know if that will change in the future on that part of it. But right now, horse racing has to be a separate app per our regulations. Now, of course, you know, one of my competitors has their app, and Twin Spires has their app that you can do horse racing on. But if we ever do get into horse racing, and I'm not going to never say never, but if we do get into the horse racing, believe me, our Bet Saracen folks will be one of the first to know on that. But and we're not allowed to do fixed odds sports racing because you know Arkansas has an established horse racing law, and we just haven't moved into that area yet. Not saying that we won't, but right now we're just concentrating on other things and making sure our sports book is right and the other things that we're working on.
I knew you'd explain it a lot better than I could. Thank you, Neil. Hey, have a great weekend, and we will talk to you next Friday.
All right, everybody, good luck on all of your parlays this weekend. Don't forget to opt in for the Parlay Club. Make sure if you do register that's pre-populated with that welcome promo code if you're a new customer, and make sure you bet with your head and not over it. And if we can spread a sport and it's legal, we're going to try to do it. So, but if there's something that you're looking for, don't forget to use our Twitter, DM us there, and we'll answer your question pretty quick. And we've gotten a lot of good feedback, and we really do appreciate the engagement with our customers.
Neil Atkinson, Bet Saracen. Coming up next, we will wrap up our second hour. Brian Edwards had some picks for you coming up in about 15 minutes. You'll want to take advantage of that. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
It's a tough time. Injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
February might be short on days, but we're long on deals at Gwatney Chevrolet. Get behind the wheel of a 2024 Chevrolet Trax for as low as $299 a month. Or test drive one of our Gwatney Chevrolet cars and we'll wash your vehicle for free at Gwatzilla. So come see us at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville, or give us a call at 501-982-2102, or visit GwatneyChevrolet.com to shop our online inventory. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. With approved credit, restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
If there's anything green in your yard right now, it's probably a weed, and you need to do something about it. Weed control and fertilization service from Sanders Ground Essentials is easier and less expensive than doing nothing or trying to do it yourself. I did that one time and almost killed my yard. Sanders Ground Essentials saves you time and money and makes your yard the envy of the neighborhood. Don't wait. Do it now. Call Sanders Ground Essentials and get started with Sanders Ground Essentials Weed Control Program. Servicing all of Central Arkansas, including Cabot and Jacksonville. On the web at sandersground.com. Let's get growing.
Willie D's Rock and Roll Piano Bar open every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Cold drinks and dueling pianos. Deep Nightclub downstairs hosts karaoke on Tuesdays and DJ spin on Friday and Saturday nights. Visit WillieD'sPianoBar.com.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do? Like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking. And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440.
It's the Hot Springs Boat, Tackle, and RV Show this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Hot Springs Convention Center. Over 100,000 square feet of boats and RVs at discounted show pricing. This weekend at the Hot Springs Convention Center, it's the Boat, Tackle, and RV Show.
Hey Razorback fans, it's Quinn Grovey. Check out the new location of Bell & Sword in Conway. Suits, shirts, vests, also polos with Arkansas logo gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. A store within a store with Arkansas-made Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. Fantastic service with a tailor-on staff to fit you perfectly. Go to the new location, Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street, Conway, or on Facebook and Instagram.
Listen to Out of Bounds every day to hear about what's trending on social media and whether listeners agree or disagree. Engaging conversations about engaging topics. Sponsored by Arkansas-based West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock and their 1.5 million coffee farmers around the globe as they fuel Arkansans with great tasting coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA. That's 833-886-5282. Call today.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile.
Get your weekend started by getting to Twin Peaks and celebrating happy hour 2 to 7. Plenty of food and drink specials. App starting at $2. Lunch combos starting at $7.99. You can look into their daily and weekly food and drink specials, and they have plenty of TVs, inside and out, wall-to-wall TVs to see all the sports action. It's a big sports weekend, so get there to get it started there at Twin Peaks. We have college basketball, NBA, combat sports, college baseball, NHL, and soccer all going on right now. So those are all the sports you can look into there at Twin Peaks. And it is Bourbon and Brews today, so also you can celebrate that from 5 to 7 with plenty of specials on brews and barrel-aged bourbons. And then there's a later happy hour, 10 to close. Flatbreads are on special starting at $8 with plenty of other specials to go along there. Go to Twin Peaks, get that weekend started. It's Twin Peaks. Each drink scenic views.
Wes Moore and Joe Franklin with you as we wrap up the second hour of Out of Bounds. Coming up in our third hour, we got Brian Edwards, we got What's Trending, and we'll wrap this thing up. D3 Auto Sales text line, one from the 501. I would say this is one of Coach Cal's best coaching efforts in turning this team around, especially after losing multiple key star players. I got to give the coaching staff credit. They did some different things after that stretch where they went 0-5, changed up the offense, and they're rolling. Playing a lot better right now. Meat Pig says, y'all's picks are killing me. Meat Pig. Oh, yeah, here's my Mavericks pick. Man, I mean, that sucked. I got them at 8.5, and Mavs still only won by 6 last night.
Told you there was a possibility of a closer game there. They're not going to lose every game by 20 plus or 30 plus.
30. You had UC Cindy. That was a push. We lost that North Dakota one, I think, by 2 points. Last night was Brian's first losing night, I think, in 2 weeks. Last night was the first time I had a losing night in a while. Brian's been good. Hey, look, it's gambling. You're not going to win everyone, Meat Pig. I was disappointed with last night, too, though. Arkansas will have big issues tomorrow. Scoring droughts will cost them. That's from the 901. Yeah, it could. But you know what? The good thing is South Carolina can't score either. And you can get away with some scoring droughts when you're playing good defense and you keep the other team from scoring. So that's possible. I messed up, Joe. I think I faded out our music. James in Houston talk about Sullivan doing a great job. He does a great job. Love having him on every Friday. 501 was wanting Mark's picks for out the door. It was a 486 or 486-3 trifecta box. 486, or you could do a 483 exacta box. That was out the door. Some huge horses have come in. Big odds. It's been rough at Oakland so far.
If you are looking for a safe and loving home for you or your loved one, visit Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center. Just 15 minutes from Little Rock and Benton, our skilled nursing staff is dedicated to providing quality long-term care and short-term therapy.
On your way to the Little Rock
Visit
Airport this morning, you want secure parking and fast. At Expressway Airport Parking, our lot is well lighted and has 24-hour security. Only customers and employees can enter the gate. Your car and you are safe from thieves. And if you return to a dead battery or a flat tire, we're there to get you back on the road. Pay less than municipal airport parking at Expressway Airport Parking, left of the airport entrance next to the Comfort Inn.
Hey, what's up? It's Kramer for Drive Time Sports. And Friday, Randy Rainwater is live with the Crane Team Triple-Double. Valonia versus Greenbrier. He and Rick Schaefer have a packed show with Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen. Hogsports.com's Trey Biddy. Thanks to Chris Crane Hyundai and Genesis of Conway. And Kevin Hoop Scoop McPherson. Friday afternoon, Drive Time Sports, 103.7 The Buzz.
More fun and games than an amusement park arcade. 103.7 The Buzz, KABZ, Little Rock. Buzz News with KARK's Claire Kreitz.
Governor Sanders signed a bill into law that could make it quicker to get blood in emergency situations. It allows Arkansans to add a blood type designation on their driver's license. That'll make it easier for hospitals to provide critical care. The bill received unanimous support in both the House and the Senate. It'll go into effect next year. 219 people living in Arkansas illegally are now at an ICE facility in Louisiana. It's part of Operation Enforce and Remove. Federal law enforcement agencies, Arkansas State Police, and local drug task forces spent the past 3 weeks looking for illegal immigrants. They tried to track down people they have already been dealing with for years. In addition to the 219 immigrants arrested, 253 legal citizens were also taken into custody during the operation. 15,000 pounds of illegal drugs and 43 guns were seized. ICE said they did not raid any churches or schools during the operation. This is Claire Kreitz for the Buzz Radio Network.
.1037 The Buzz is your home for Arkansas Razorbacks basketball. Coverage is brought to you by Coffin by Design West, Bale Chevrolet, Blackman Auctions, Lion Legal, and Edwards Food Giant.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
It's going to be sunny today and a little bit warmer. We'll get up to 75 degrees. Plus, it'll be pretty windy. We'll see winds out of the southwest, maybe as high as 20 miles per hour. A clear sky tonight will cool off to 46 degrees. It'll be a cooler, mostly sunny Saturday with a high only of 66. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse presents Match Game on Morning Mayhem. Listen for your chance to play their version of the classic TV game show. Brought to you by Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse, Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters for over 30 years. Call 501-568-0040 today or click online at arkansastruck.com.
This is Trey Reed from the Wild Side, inviting you to join Mark Hedrick and me every Tuesday night at 7 here on The Buzz.
Brought to you by Trader Bill's Outdoors, West Rock Landing, Edwards Food Giant, Battery Outfitters, River Rock Realty, All About Tire and Brake, and Tammy Chase Insurance.
It's The Wild Side on 103.7 The Buzz.
The king of Arkansas sports talk, Randy Rainwater for Bet Saracen.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick 'em, you win 'em.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Have questions about retirement, investments, or your money? Call our financial hotline. Dial 501-381-5228 and leave a voicemail with your specific financial question, and our experts will answer it on the Get Ready for the Future show Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Get your financial questions answered by the pros. 501-381-5228. Call now. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Independent Advisor Alliance. Independent Advisor Alliance and Genwealth Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
It's Justin Acree. If you're dealing with back or neck pain, the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health is here to help. Whether it's neurosurgery, orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, or pain management, their experts have you covered with the latest technology and minimally invasive techniques. They're focused on reducing your pain, improving mobility, and getting you back to doing what you love. Call 501-686-TOSH to set up an appointment today. That's 501-686-8674. The doctor will see you now.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 no, wait, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
O'Reilly! Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Loyalty. It's a big word for Family Market, and we mean it. That's why our loyalty card, also known as our rewards card, same thing, folks, lets you save 5 cents a gallon every time you fill up at any of our 4 locations. Grab a large fountain drink or a fresh cup of community coffee, that's another 5 cents off a gallon. And on Big Mondays, mid-grade gas costs the same as regular. Yep, you heard me right. Family Market. Keeping it simple and saving you money in Shannon Hills, Malvern, Pangburn, and now Mayflower. Just off I-40. Stop by today. Your wallet will thank you.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions
Live
for
from
real
the
people.
Gwatney Chevrolet Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
Edwards Food Giant presents Razorback. Edwards Food Giant presents.
Yeah, I screwed all kinds of stuff up. My bad. I can't get it stopped, Joe. Help me, Joe.
Edwards Food Giant presents Razorback.
I'll just cut it off. Got stuff running, Joe. I don't know what I've done. I mean, things are going haywire over here. You'd think it was left Friday or something. Things are just running left and right. Well, I'll just go to the phone lines. Bring in Brian Edwards. Save me, Brian. What's up, Brian? How are you?
What's going on, fellas? Thanks for having me.
Oh,
hey, Brian.
Glad you're here. Got a huge day in SEC basketball tomorrow, man. I was looking at that schedule, and it is from noon until 10 o'clock tomorrow night when they finish up. Just game after game after game, good games.
Yeah, really good card. You want me to just rip off what I made the lines on each of them?
Yeah. Let me see. Because the only line I think I have, and I'll pull it up right now. I know what we have, the Arkansas-South Carolina line. It came out at 2.5 and went down already. Arkansas is favored by 1.5 right now against South Carolina.
So I made Arkansas 3.5 if Fierro's out. I made him -5 if he's back. And do you guys know what the latest is on that, or are we waiting on the availability report tonight?
Yeah, we're waiting on availability. I don't think many people around here feel like he's going to play. It would be a very pleasant surprise if he's there playing. I'm expecting him not to be there.
Is it a long-term thing or back fairly soon?
It could be.
Yeah.
It's indefinite right now.
They said that it's a hyperextended knee, and it could be, with the hyperextended knee, a week to 2 weeks to up to 6 weeks.
Yep. Okay, so I made the Gators 8.5, but that was before A&M lost at home to Vandy. So I'm thinking that should be 9.5, 10, and I like the Gators at 8.5 was the number I saw. I made Auburn 4.
By the way,
Kentucky.
they do have these lines out on Bet Saracen, and Florida is 8.5-point favorite against A&M.
Okay. Well, I think that's too small considering A&M lost to Vandy. I made these either Tuesday or first thing Wednesday. But anyhow, I made Auburn 4 to Kentucky, but that was before we saw Jackson Robinson getting hurt. So I don't know what we'll see of the availability report tonight. But I think Auburn should probably be more like 5 or 5.5 if Robinson is out for Kentucky, their second leading scorer who aggravated the wrist or forearm or hand injury at Oklahoma the other night. I made Ole Miss 8, but adjusted it to 7 once I saw Oklahoma play good for a second straight game, even though they lost to Kentucky, and Ole Miss looked terrible the other night. So Ole Miss -7. I made LSU Mississippi State. I made it 8, but with the thought that Mississippi State would be a lot higher than that. I just kind of like how LSU is playing right now. I made the Vols -2 at home to Bama with the thought that it would probably end up being 4 or more, but I'm just high on Bama in general. I made Mizzou -4 at Vandy. I made Texas -6 at home to Georgia.
Okay, I don't have a Texas-Georgia, but I do have Tennessee. They are a 3.5-point favorite over Alabama.
Yeah, I don't want to say I lean Bama because of what I'm not going to play Bama unless I can get 5, but what I'm going to hope is that the Vols get a lead, and I imagine they will at some point, and if I can get involved with Bama on a live line or halftime line at +8 or better, I would be interested in that. Now, I may not be able to get it that high, but, around +7 or 8, I'd probably be thinking about the Tide.
So based on some of what you like there, let's get into UCLA. They actually play tonight.
Yep, this is one that I have bet. I bet UCLA +6 at Purdue tonight. UCLA 20-8 straight up, 16-11-1 against the spread. They've won outright in 3 of the last 4 road games, and the only outright loss in those last 4 road games was 83-78 at Illinois when they covered as a 6-point road dog, just like they are tonight. And they've really been playing outstanding since mid-January after Cronin had those pressers when he was bitching about the travel and whatnot. Since then, 9-2 straight up, 7-3-1 against the spread. UCLA's been an underdog 6 times this year. They've gone 4-2 against the spread with 3 outright wins. They won outright at Oregon. They beat Arizona in Phoenix, and they beat Gonzaga in Inglewood. And Purdue, 19-9 straight up, 15-13 ATS. They've lost 4 in a row and failed to cover in each of their last 3. So I like UCLA +6 in West Lafayette tonight.
Okay. I see you've got an NBA play tonight. New Orleans, possibly, over Phoenix?
Possibly. Waiting on injury. I've kind of been away from the internet here for a while. I don't know if there's been an update on Zion. He doesn't play in many back-to-backs, but he dominated with a triple-double last night. But look, Phoenix is just a fade team from here on out regardless. They are 3-9 against the spread, and that locker room is toxic. So I'm not against playing New Orleans regardless tonight, but if Zion's playing and it's still +8 or in that close to that neighborhood, if Zion's playing, I'm not against the money line play, but more on +points.
How many NBA games do you typically look at on average for a day?
So, I've been really going treading slowly here since the All-Star break. I was in a good rhythm before that, and I kind of feel like I got out of rhythm. I think I only have had I think I'm 3-2 since the All-Star break, and I haven't had to play the last few nights. I actually ended up playing New Orleans a live bet last night. And Wes, when we spoke before the game, I hope you didn't play Dallas. I ended up getting a -4.5 live, I want to say late third quarter, when it was a tie game, or they might have been even down by one. But, I'll get on a roll with teams. I was hitting the Jazz overs a lot, but they've been holding Markkanen and a lot of their good players out here lately, so I've gotten away from that. And it's just, gosh, you just never know on the injuries and who's going to play this time of year. So many teams are tanking, et cetera. There's a while I was playing Oklahoma City about every game. I was playing the Hawks overs a lot, but I haven't, I've kind of gotten away from that here the last week or so.
What about player props, NBA-wise?
I don't do a ton of those. Now, I'm not saying I won't get into that market more when March Madness is over and we're getting close to the playoffs. That's kind of when but I feel like I got my whole hands full, with the menu of a huge college basketball slate to be, breaking down the props market in the NBA on a nightly basis.
The Razorbacks have been a great cover team here recently. They're 8-0 against the spread in their last 8 games. How long do you continue riding something like that? Is there a magic number where you feel like maybe the computers will adjust and they start getting the kind of respect? Because, Arkansas was bad for so long. I think it just took a while for the computers to catch up when they actually started playing well.
Yeah, there gets to a point where, it is you're holding on a little too long. I did that with the Miami Hurricanes, although, fading them was a very successful venture. And then after they lost to Notre Dame, I think they traded their fadeness over to the Fighting Irish. But they went 4-1 at ATS after that, and I actually ended up I got a push on them at FSU, and I got a win barely at Pitt. I actually ended up backing Miami twice. I haven't been involved in the last couple games because Matthew Cleveland's been hurt. But, yeah, the Thiero injury, I liked Arkansas the other night, but the injury, now you got a little better line value. The injury kind of talked me off them. I ended up putting them in a money line parlay that I ended up winning, but and that was getting a little nerve-wracking after obviously the game went to overtime after a big lead there at halftime. But I'm not saying you don't keep riding Arkansas, especially if it's a good run. But, once the run ends and you lose one, maybe that's the time you do jump off.
Let's talk about Clemson and Virginia.
Yeah, this is one I like a lot. It's terribly mispriced in my opinion at 129.5. But I was on the radio in Clemson yesterday. I speculated I'd play it over all the way to 135, not knowing what the line would actually be. The over's on a 10-0-1 run for Virginia in its last 11, 14-2-1 in its last 17, and so the line's 129.5. They've had at least 130 combined in 11 straight games. The last one to go under 130 was against SMU January 15th. And their UVA's last 5 games have had combined scores of 158, 149, 142, 143, 136. The Tony Bennett era is over. They're playing better offense and not nearly as good defense. And the over's also on a 5-1 run for Clemson, including 151 combined the other night against Notre Dame, 148 at SMU, and they had 150 against UNC February 10th and 148 against Duke February 8th, and they were into the 170s against Georgia Tech on February 4th. So over 129.5 looks like a steal to me.
How about Syracuse and Vatech?
Yeah, I'm leaning Syracuse here, plus 3.5. I had Cuse the other night. They're obviously better at home, but yeah, I think they're playing pretty good right now. It's been a bad season for both teams, but I like how Cuse is playing right now, and I'm not, implying it's a big play by any means, but I'll be on the Cuse for a little bit, plus 3.5.
Brian, great stuff. A lot of good picks for this weekend and tonight. We'll keep an eye, especially on Zion, see what happens there. We appreciate it, man. Thank you. That's Brian Edwards with us, VegasInsider.com. Follow him on Twitter, Vegas B. Edwards. Vegas B. Edwards. Good follow on Twitter. We were hoping for a bounce back for Gabe Gackle. That's not happening. Charlotte has batted around in the first inning. Arkansas is down 5-0. First inning.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, really need some run support now.
Yeah. The over-under was at 11.5, and if you want the Razorbacks to win, that needs to go over. But they have already hit a home run. They hit a double. They hit the top of the wall. That was almost another home run, then a single. And it's 5-0. First inning. That not what you wanted to see out of Gabe Gackle after some struggles with the command in Arlington. And look, he's usually got command. And I felt like maybe that was just a one-time deal. Maybe it was the mound, just the environment. Who knows? A little jacked up pitching in there, but back home where he should be comfortable. And Charlotte is hitting the ball all over him right now. So it's been a struggle for Gabe Gackle. We'll keep you updated on the Razorback. Still the first inning. Plenty of time. And look, you should score runs on Charlotte. And four of the first 5 runners have come on. And they got 2 outs. So there you go. That's the very latest I'm seeing on Gabe Gackle and his struggles in the first inning against Arkansas. Or against Charlotte.
What's trending in sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
Well, that's disappointing, so let's move on from Razorback baseball and talk about the Combine. Travis Hunter, that's a lot of talk, big talk, and he talked yesterday discussing on playing 2 positions in the NFL.
Did some meetings at receiver, did some meetings at DB, so still up in the air. They say nobody has ever done it for real the way I do it, but I tell them that I'm just different. I'm a different person.
Yeah, I liked what he had to say. I listened to several of his interviews yesterday, or several different clips of his interviews, and confident, and he should be confident.
He was even asked about playing special teams. He said, I don't know about that. Said he already has enough on his plate.
Yeah, if he's playing both ways. Now, if he's not playing one or the other, then yeah, he may need to get but I was thinking about it, and while in theory it sounds great, because I guess I cover so much high school football, and there's some schools where players are going both ways. If that player gets hurt, it's double painful.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, I don't know if he's a starting wide receiver and a starting cornerback, but if you lose him on both sides of the ball. That's 2 holes you have to fill.
And there are some draft experts, at least one of them, that has him rated as number 1 receiver, number 1 corner.
That says a lot, because this wide receiver class is loaded. There's some great wide receivers.
Receivers, they're always deep, just because of how the game is played, but they say this year it's more top heavy. That if you get those top ones, then there's a gap when you start getting down the line, especially for your needs. If you're needing outside receivers as opposed to slot receivers, you want to try to get those outside receivers early.
More on Travis Hunter. Here's Mike Vrabel.
I'm sure Travis doesn't even know, but we were kind of jawing back and forth as he left last night, and I said, you're not the only one that played 2 ways, Slim. Yeah. Like, there were some other guys that did this too. and he kind of like looked at me, and we laughed.
Mike Vrabel has caught big game touchdowns, Super Bowls, playoffs, and his primary position was outside linebacker.
Yeah. Moving on to Mason Graham. This is Michigan's defensive tackle.
The only thing I'd really say is, all the hard work I put in with my coaches and myself, but also, a lot of people attribute, some of that stuff to, I wrestled in high school. Maybe that might play a role in it. Don't know.
Well, your leverage, and your balance,
is a big thing they talk about. I feel
competitiveness.
Yeah, for sure. But I just think that that's kind of natural. I like playing physical. Like, especially if you're playing D tackle, you have to be really physical, or else you're just going to get pushed around in there. So I try to pride myself on playing physical.
By the way, Landon Jackson had a great day yesterday. Had a 40-inch vertical, and I think there only been 4 guys at 270 pounds or more to have a 40-inch vertical. He's one of those 4. Then he ran a 4.68 in the 40. David Walker was a 100th of a second behind him at 4.69.
Oh, those are good numbers. Great numbers for that size.
Did you see the clip of David Walker? They kept showing him doing backflips.
Yeah.
They're like, this is a defensive end doing backflips in the end zone and making it look easy.
Also, some of those times that were run, and you're talking about some of the bigger players. Patrick Mahomes, he put on social media joking, saying, will you please quit putting his 40 next to somebody else's, because it'll show like a D tackle that runs a faster 40 than him, and they're taking off at the same time, and you see that D tackle just leaving as the 40 goes on.
Somebody just ran a 4.29.
That's getting it.
Yeah, I saw a tweet. Some guy, I didn't know who it was. I'll look back at it. All right, NFL Network. What is this, Ian Rappaport?
Ian Rappaport and Jordan Schultz, they're two NFL insiders. Apparently, they had a heated argument inside Starbucks. So not only do we have NFL Network making jokes about it, but inside the NBA was making jokes about it.
So Jordan Schultz is another NFL insider? Okay.
This gentleman had an App State mini helmet.
What you don't know is that was actually Ian's high school helmet that they had put an App State logo on.
Careful them fighting words, man. He's waiting outside of Starbucks waiting for you now.
All right, let's go to inside the NBA.
I'm in a good mood, man.
Why is that?
Well, because I was at Starbucks today.
And?
It's dangerous in there, Ernie.
What happened?
Those fists flying everywhere. I was like, see, I don't normally go to Starbucks because that's where rich white folks go. I used going to get
Rich white folks go to
I love to go with black folks.
That's the place where
that's what
apparently
they
it's where a lot of
reporters go.
But apparently, $2 coffee is where you have to be rich.
Ain't no $2 coffee. They should be drinking Folgers like the rest of us do.
Oh my God!
Hey, you know we're in the presence. Hey, Jordan Schultz of Fox verbally accosted Ian Rappaport of NFL Media at an Indianapolis Starbucks on Wednesday afternoon. The report was made to NFL security.
Shaq, you see that kind of word they use? Accosted.
Yeah, accosted.
Whooping his ass. That's what happened.
Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah, you'll stop talking now. Jordan. Get that Frappuccino thing right next time.
Hey, you know we're in the presence of royalty tonight. What?
What's that?
You know what's funny about that story?
What is?
I've been knowing Jordan for a long time. Of course, his father's Howard Schultz. He could have owned all the franchise, but he decided to go a different route. I've always respected Jordan for that. But yeah, Jordan, hope you got it.
Ian. I got Ian in this one.
May 19th.
Let's do it.
19th.
Hey, we'll let them go first as a warm-up, then me and you will go.
Do you go to Starbucks?
Never. I'm not a coffee drinker.
I can count on probably one hand, maybe two hands, the number of times I've gone to Starbucks. Kind of like Chuck.
Kids like it, though.
If I want Starbucks, I'll just go make me a cup. Shoot, I got a cup sitting in there. I forgot.
You just left it in there.
I'm not going and paying $6 for a cup of coffee. It's not that good to me. I just need a quick little jolt. I'm not doing that. But you're right. My daughter loves it. Oh, my God. Golden State. Steph went off last night.
Half-court heave. Curry knocks it in. Curry three. Got it! Steph with 8 made threes. Curry again. Buddy Hield back to Steph. Another three. Got it! This has got that record-setting feel. He's 9 of 12. Pitch out to Pajenski. He drives, looks, nothing there. Shot clock at 1. Curry, 3-point shot. And of course it's good. 52 in the game.
So they took a look at February 27th and some of the performances Steph has had. He's had some incredible performances on that date specifically. Dropped 54 at Madison Square Garden on February 27th. Had another game where they came back and he hit one of those long-range threes. So he was asked about that date, and he said, yeah, I need to mark that one down.
It's just a coincidence in his mind.
Right.
But there's something to February 27th. By the way, that highlight started off with the half-court heave. That wasn't a half-court heave.
No, it was past half-court. 56 feet.
Yeah. It was deep. There was a video that was tweeted out, him pregame, and he's right around the free throw line. Takes like 2 steps back, takes 2 steps back, goes all the way to half court, and then he starts coming back in. Never missed a shot.
That's his normal routine.
Oh, my God, it was incredible just watching it. It's like a 1.5, 2 minute long video.
And then to see him go to the sides where he's basically standing in a tunnel and shooting a shot. And his mom was at the game last night also,
that's
so
cool.
that was a nice capper where after that performance, he threw his jersey to his mom.
Lakers won again last night.
They did. And playing against Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards, he leads the league in ejections, and he's on the verge of getting suspended for a game.
Edwards, he's got to do something. He's either got to give it up, call a timeout.
Got a technical.
He got a technical. Yeah, Anthony was complaining, but what he had to do was either get rid of it or call the timeout.
If it's on Anthony Edwards, and it is, I think he may be looking for some fresh soap.
Yes. Remember, they have the dual technicals. He's out of the game.
That's number 2.
Wow. Anthony Edwards has been tossed out.
And he's not leaving the court in a timely manner, so the fine may increase because he is not leaving the court.
Plus, that's his 16th technical of the year. Yeah, he lost his head just for a second there.
Then he throws the ball in the stands.
Yeah. He is as frustrated as it gets. What a huge loss for the Wolves. 2 technical fouls. Edwards done.
A huge loss for the fans, too.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. We want to watch him.
See the Stars play.
One more tech, he will be suspended for a game.
Wow. Other NBA news, Joel Embiid has been ruled out for the rest of the season, so he's done.
Well, it's time for them to focus on the draft because they're probably not making playoffs. And even if they do, they're going to be a lower seed like they have in the past couple of seasons. It's not going to do them any good.
And news out of Auburn, Hugh Freeze has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. You know, we talk a lot about that with our friends at Arkansas Urology and the foundation. Thankfully, they say it was detected early, and his doctors advise that it is very treatable and curable. And that's the number one message. You catch prostate cancer early, it is treatable and curable, and thankfully that's the case with Hugh Freeze.
That's the great news for him.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's a look at what's trending. We got to take a break. When we come back, we can take some phone calls. We can open it up, 661-1037. How you feeling about South Carolina tomorrow? Arkansas, 1.5 favorite. Hit on that and much more when we come back. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Edwards Food Giant presents Razorback Baseball color analyst and Drive Time Sports co-host Rick Schaefer every Tuesday morning on Morning Mayhem. Rick will share his special take on Razorback sports with the guys each week. Edwards Food Giant, the meat people, the only stop you'll ever have to make for your family's groceries.
This is Sports Center.
Last night in college basketball, Wooded Rock fell to Eastern Illinois 70-61. Their final game of the regular season will be tomorrow against Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville at 3:30. The two teams are currently tied for second in the OVC. Arkansas State will play their final game of the regular season tonight at 6:30 as they take on Louisiana Monroe. Coverage for that game can be seen on ESPN+. Arkansas will go for their third straight win as they face South Carolina on the road at noon tomorrow. TV coverage is on the SEC Network. Radio coverage can be heard on the Buzz. And Arkansas baseball starts their 3-game series against Charlotte this afternoon at 3 on SEC Network Plus. Radio coverage can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2 today. Tomorrow the game will be at 2 and will start on Buzz 2, then move to the Buzz following basketball. And on Sunday, first pitch is set for noon and it can be heard on the Buzz as well. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Roger, did you know that Oaklawn Sports is the mobile app that lets you bet anywhere in Arkansas?
Anywhere, so I can bet the over when I'm in Dover.
Indeed you can.
I can take the underdog in Dogtown.
Absolutely.
You're telling me I can bet on the pigskin in Piggott?
Yep.
Hoops in Humnoke, baseball in Bauxite, long shots in Lavaca?
All of the above.
Anywhere, huh?
Anywhere.
Nice.
Easy to use and even easier to fund. Bet with confidence. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
February might be short on days, but we're long on deals at Gwatney Chevrolet. Get behind the wheel of a 2024 Chevrolet Trax for as low as $299 a month. Or test drive one of our Gwatney Chevrolet cars and we'll wash your vehicle for free at Gwatzilla. So come see us at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville, or give us a call at 501-982-2102, or visit GwatneyChevrolet.com to shop our online inventory. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. With approved credit, restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
It's the Hot Springs Boat, Tackle, and RV Show this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Hot Springs Convention Center. Over 100,000 square feet of boats and RVs at discounted show pricing. This weekend at the Hot Springs Convention Center, it's the Boat, Tackle, and RV Show.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GRAVY25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GRAVY25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GRAVY25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Is your yard ready for whatever Mother Nature throws your way? At Acadi's Touch Landscaping, we make sure it is. Whether it's weatherizing your flower beds for the seasons ahead, building strong retaining walls to prevent erosion, or installing French drains to keep water where it belongs, we've got you covered. And when it's time to elevate your outdoor space, we build custom decks perfect for relaxing or entertaining. Call 501-794-2770 to transform your yard into a space you love, rain or shine. Acadi's Touch Landscaping, 501-794-2770, where we bring the green to your life.
Fellas, if you're not feeling that same energy anymore, testosterone therapy or TRT may be the answer. Look for personalized treatment like you'll get with the experts at Low T Center. Low T Center brings over a decade of experience, so go to lowtcenter.com right now to book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com.
Out of Bounds, live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio.
By the way, Arkansas did get out of the first inning finally. 5-0. They got a double from Vahiva, but left him there. Nothing else going. So Arkansas trails 5-0, second inning. Talk some Razorback basketball. You can call in 661-1037. Open segment here if you want to talk about the game. Your thoughts on South Carolina. 1.5 favorite. How you feel about that? Think Arkansas is going to win? Over on the Whit Davis Lumber Plus live fan feedback, couple things. See who's this from. Lee. Lee says West Charlotte is a very good baseball program, very similar like Coastal Carolina. They've won me some money already this year betting on them. These mid-majors are solid programs, especially from the East Coast. Yeah, great baseball in that area. I mean, that's why you've seen Duke, North Carolina. They've had some nice teams over the years. North Carolina State, I shouldn't leave them off that list, should I? But Arkansas needs to come back and win this game. Mick says, Wes, I just got some cool news, and it was all because of you. Well, that's awesome. I will be a score standard bearer at the St. Jude Classic this summer. 2 years ago, you won me tickets, and a friend and I went to the St. Jude Classic. I had such a good time. I volunteered as a gallery management member, and this year they upgraded me to standard bearer. Thank you, Wes. That is awesome.
That is
so cool.
Great news.
Yeah. It's Mark. I'm sorry, Mark. Will says, I'm looking down at my new Nielsen book. They don't know about the only radio station I'm listening to is 103.7 The Buzz. They'll soon know, though, when you write that down every day. Heck yeah. That's great news, too. Love it when our people get those books. Anything else I need to get to? Yeah, let's go over here. 501 says, yeah, Wes, that was a train wreck coming out of the 3 o'clock break. It was. You were on the phone with Brian, and it was one of HB's commercials. Just started running, and I'd hit stop, and it would stop it, and then it would run it again. And I hit stop, it would run again. Stop, it would run again. So I just turned it down, and
That's the way to do it.
I couldn't do anything. I was like, I'm lost, and you couldn't help me because you're on the phone with Brian. It was a total cluster, and I hit the wrong button. TP in Little Rock says, "Hey Joe, who's going to win the fight tomorrow?"
I would go with Tank. Tank is always a good bet, even though you probably get better return on taking underdogs. But when you have someone that has performed the way he has every time he steps in the ring, got to go with the favorite there.
How many are there? Is this a big one? Big fight card?
Anytime he fights, it's big. And they're in search of somebody that's going to be on his level. So every fight that he gets to, the next one, they say this is going to be the toughest fight he's ever had. This is another tough test, but he seems to pass all these tough tests.
903 says, Wes, do you know why the baseball game is not live on Bet Saracen? Neil explained that one time. They had to have it's not equipment, it's someone there. It's not as simple as you think, because they have to be getting the live real-time data so that the computer models can then do whatever analysis to set the live in-game odds.
Because they're always ahead of TV broadcast.
Sure. And I don't know if it's a piece of equipment or somebody that I don't understand the ifs, but he told us one time that there has to be a certain thing that's functioning so that they can get that live in-game data. And apparently, obviously, they're not getting it for this game. That's why, because I double-checked just to make sure it wasn't there. And because I'm thinking like you're thinking. Arkansas's down 5. They're going to come back. They're going to make this a game. What kind of odds can I get right now? Sorry. Greg in Maumelle says, I've been hitting the horses pretty good today. Hopefully tomorrow's better. Well, good for you, Greg, because that means you've hit some long shots. I was looking earlier, and I've been busy, and I haven't played anything today. There have been some long shots that have come in. You had in race number 4, Pittsburgh, the one horse, paid $76.60 on a $2 bet. The race before, Icy River, $53.80 to win. Golden Edge, Walter De La Cruz, that's Gary, our engineer's favorite jockey, paid $16.80 in race number 2. So you had 3 horses in a row to win a $2 bet, paid double digits, one of them over 50 and one of them over 70. Now, the last 2 races, it settled down a little bit. Daisy Duke, who Mark the Magician told us about, won race 8 that's one of Ron Moquette's horses. And Boat Song just won, paid $8.40, so he was about 3 to 1, 3.5 to 1. But yeah, there have been some long shots hit today, and if you've been hitting them, man, you're cashing in, Greg. Way to go.
Arkansas Storm, new football team here of IFA, International Football Alliance. Head coach Ron Calcagni. You'll have the opportunity to meet the staff tomorrow at Brewski's North at 7 o'clock. And Lorenzo Robinson, who we know well, Zoe, is scouting director and team ambassador. So tomorrow night, Brewski's North, 7 o'clock, go meet staff of Arkansas Storm.
I talked to Ron earlier this week, and he's really excited to be back, and he's going to be the head coach, and really believes in this ownership group. And they're going to be playing not this year, but next year. This is a brand new league, and this is the first year of the league, so they get to kind of sit back and look and watch and see what works, what doesn't work, and then they'll join the league next year as an expansion team, and they'll be playing right around this time next year. It's a spring league, and he said they won't be competing with the NFL or the other leagues. I guess when's the XFL get started?
It starts at the end of next month.
Next month,
or maybe mid next month, but yeah, it starts soon, within the next 2 to 4 weeks.
No, so that'll be fun. We'll get we're gonna get Ron to come up here and talk a little bit more about it and give us some of the details. Jake is in Conway. What's up, Jake?
Well, hello, gentlemen. It's a beautiful day in Central Arkansas.
Yes, it is.
Uh,
I love wearing short sleeve shirts. Isn't it nice to be able to do that?
Wonderful, wonderful. Hey, I don't know if either of you watched the Vanderbilt Texas A&M game earlier this week.
I did. I caught some of it. Yes.
It was just unwatchable at the end because it was a continuous foul by A&M to send Vanderbilt to the line. And I bet the game was the last 2.5 minutes probably lasted 10 minutes.
Joe, I talked to you about this game because I took the under, and it went well under in the first half and was going to be well under until A&M decided with about 2.5 minutes, we're going to start fouling every possession and sending them to the line. And then A&M would get the ball and drive down, make a layup, and then foul immediately and send Vanderbilt to the line. And it went well over.
I think that the rules need to be harsher for teams to use that strategy to try to win the game. I mean, like maybe take your free throws, maybe 2 shots and keep the ball, or 1 and 1 and keep possession. I mean, it was not fun whatsoever. I mean, the only reason I watched it to the end is because I love to see A&M get beat, and that was it. I was hoping for Vandy would pull it off, and they did. But honestly, that was some of the worst basketball on TV I've ever seen. Well, anyway, you guys have a great day.
Yeah, Jake, I understand it when there's like a minute to go, but they started that so early in the game, and then it takes forever to finish the game, and then it's like you said, it's not fun to watch because you know exactly what's about to happen, and to put yourself in Vanderbilt's shoes, you don't want to foul and send A&M to the line, so they're doing everything not to foul, but then what does that do? That opens it up, and you give up a layup, and then as soon as you throw the ball in bounds, they foul you. You go down the free throw line, make your 2 free throws, A&M drives down, layup. You throw it in, they foul you, and that's all it was for like 2 minutes. It was ridiculous.
Zoe says IFA, it's summer, starts in May.
Okay. That's what happens when you don't take notes on a phone call and you don't remember right. I talked to Cal Cagney on the way to work the other day, and I thought he told me it was going to be right about this time next year, spring league. Maybe he said they'll be getting ready for this time next year. Anything else I need to hit on the Whit Davis Lumber Plus live fan feedback? Think we're good there. D3 Auto Sales text line. Yeah, but Joe, one for you. Did you see Stephen A. Smith go off today about LeBron's comments about the media? I'm a huge Lakers fan, but LeBron seems so entitled, and he's a billionaire. But AR-15 is playing the best of his career right now. Lakers, Celtics for the title.
Didn't see Stephen A.'s comments, but LeBron, he makes comments about a lot of different things, and it draws interest whenever he comments on anything. So not surprising that Stephen A. Smith had a reaction to it. Austin Reeves is playing well. He's basically their third option. So you look at LeBron, Luka, and then there's Austin Reeves. He's starting, puts in a lot of work for that team.
You want to get headlines or attention? You take something LeBron says, and then you go off on it, and then it's automatic. People are paying attention. LeBron, Stephen A., boom, perfect storm. Makes sense. All right, last one of the week. When we come back, we'll wrap up Out of Bounds. Get ready for Drive Time Sports. Stick around.
Loyalty. It's a big word for Family Market, and we mean it. That's why our loyalty card, also known as our rewards card, same thing, folks, lets you save 5 cents a gallon every time you fill up at any of our 4 locations. Grab a large fountain drink or a fresh cup of community coffee, that's another 5 cents off a gallon. And on Big Mondays, mid-grade gas costs the same as regular. Yep, you heard me right. Family Market. Keeping it simple and saving you money in Shannon Hills, Malvern, Pangburn, and now Mayflower. Just off I-40. Stop by today. Your wallet will thank you.
It's your turn to drive into luxury at Southland Casino Hotel. Join us on Saturdays to win your share of up to $1 million in free play and prizes. And don't miss the chance to take home luxury itself during the grand finale drawings. Drive off in a 2025 Land Rover on February 1st or a 2025 Range Rover on March 1st. 2 vehicles, 2 finales, 1 million ways to enjoy luxury. Only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Well, we're getting ready to be in the springtime, and this is the time that you want to get out and be active. Whether you like to run, hike, be on the lake, whatever you like to do to be active, you just don't want to do it with joint pain. Hey, everybody, it's RJ Hawk. Do you have that nuisance in your back? Maybe it's your knees. Are you not sleeping well because of the pain? What if I told you there's an answer? It's called QC Kinetics. They've got regenerative treatments that are sweeping the nation. This groundbreaking treatment for arthritis pain is a long-term relief, and it's possible right here in Central Arkansas. QC Kinetics treatments use your own body's healing agents to revitalize your joints without going under the knife. That's right, no surgery, no downtime, and no drugs. Look, joint pain does not have to get better with time. So before it's absolutely debilitating, see if you're a candidate for a life-changing regenerative treatment. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation. 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440.
Tune in to Out of Bounds each Monday for Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services. Serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years, they're your small to mid-sized fleet specialist that also takes care of our fleet at Signal Media. Fleet Management Services is now hiring for Loop Tech, Tire Tech, and Light Maintenance. 8 paid holidays and paid vacation, paid health insurance, and 401k. Pay depends on experience and signing bonus. Apply in person at 901 East 8th Street in Little Rock.
Hey folks, this is David Basil for Simmons Bank. What started as a hometown bank in Pine Bluff more than 120 years ago, Simmons Bank has expanded their footprint to more than 200 locations across the Mid-South. Simmons Bank offers comprehensive financial solutions delivered with a client-central approach. Last year, Simmons Bank was recognized by U.S. News & World Report as one of the best companies to work for in the South, and in 2023 by Forbes as one of the world's best banks. The Simmons Bank Championship presented by Stevens was named the best tournament on the PGA Tour champions by the golfers themselves. It's very rare that a first-year tournament wins an award from the players like the Simmons Bank Championship did. George Macris and his strong team at Simmons Bank can help you grow. Give them a shot and tell them Baz sent you. You can find all of their locations on the web at simmonsbank.com. With more than $27 billion in total assets, Simmons Bank continues to grow. Join me and many others and make Simmons Bank your bank. simmonsbank.com or check out a branch near you. One of the best banks in America located right here in Arkansas.
This is Thomas Blackman of Blackman Auctions. A well-advertised auction is the fastest, most effective, most efficient, economical method to get the highest market value for your asset. Whether it is real estate or a piece of equipment, an auction is the best option. Say it with me again. A well-advertised auction is the fastest, most effective, most efficient, economical method to get the highest market value for your asset. For 86 years, Blackman has made auctions the best solution for selling your hard-earned property. Since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the Gwatney Chevrolet studio. Gwatney Chevrolet. Driving, trust every mile. Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
This is number one champion sound. Yeah, Estelle, we about to get down. Who the hottest in the world right now?
All right, back at it. We're wrapping this thing up. Arkansas is in the bottom of the third inning, batting right now, still 5-0. Arkansas softball getting underway. They're in the bottom of the first inning, no score, 3 up, 3 down versus Iowa. So Arkansas is trying to score. Their game got delayed about 45 minutes because the first game went long. Busy weekend, busy day. Got Arkansas baseball, softball. Little Rock Trojans are playing right now at Gary Hogan Field. They're trailing Murray State 4-3. That's early. If you want to just get out and enjoy some baseball in the capital city, Little Rock's playing right now. Got wrestling going on tonight at the Jack Stevens Center. They'll start back up here in about 7 minutes. Had a little break, and they'll go till 8 o'clock tonight. And then, of course, the finals are tomorrow at the Jack Stevens Center. High school basketball going on all over the place. We're going up to Clinton. Fox 16 will have your highlights from the 4A regional in Clinton. That'll be starting up. Regional starting up all over the state here in the next 7 minutes. What else we got? Arkansas State playing tonight, men and women.
Yeah. Will those games be over in time for highlights for tonight?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we got the first game. There's a game at 4, 5:30, 7, and 8:30. So the Mills boys game, I may just have like highlights of that first quarter against East End. But no, we'll have highlights. Hopefully, I'm hoping to have highlights of the PA girls in my early shows because they start at 4. They'll be done at 5:15. I watched them the other day.
They don't go that quick. They're not an
Joe,
hour, 15 minutes.
Joe, the other day, they played Malvern in the first round. It was 20-2 when I turned it on. There's a mercy rule if you're up 30 in the fourth quarter.
Okay, that's what it is then.
That game was over at 5:10.
Okay, yeah. If mercy rule is in effect, then that's going to affect how long the game is.
But the second game is scheduled to start at 5:30. So they give them like 10 minutes warm-up time. So they're thinking it'll be over by 5:20.
They must have a faster pace then because there's some middle school games that are about an hour and a half.
Oh, my gosh.
And they play less. They play 6 minutes.
6-minute quarters.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe a lot of fouling and free throw shooting in those, huh?
A little bit.
And A-State, the men play tonight. Look, they need some help. They're playing Monroe. They should beat Monroe, but they're in a 3-way tie for second place. South Alabama and Troy are tied with them, and James Madison's one game ahead of them. But all 4 teams are favored to win tonight and probably should win tonight. And if that's the case, A-State loses the tiebreaker on the men's side, and they will be the 4 seed. And you'd really like to be that 2 seed or the 1 seed, of course, but those losses at home last week, it's going to come back and bite them, and looks like A-State will be the 4 seed in the Sun Belt tournament. The women are playing Troy, and Troy's A-State women's in second, Troy's in third. The winner will get the 2 seed, and the loser will get the 3 seed. So a huge game for the A-State women tonight on the road. They need to win that to get that number 2 seed in the double bye all the way to the semifinals. So big sports night. It's going to be a busy night. What would happen if the commissioner of the SEC would say no interleague transfers, or you have a 1-year wait period of eligibility? That's from the 501 on the text line. You would have players that just transfer out of the SEC, and that would make the SEC weaker. I mean, if they want to transfer, they're not happy where they are, they would go to another conference, Big 10, Big 12, ACC, and that would just help that conference get bigger, and you're losing this talent outside the SEC, so they probably don't want that to happen. Want the SEC to continue to dominate.
Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of good teams out there, coast to coast.
Sure.
And outside of the bigger conferences also in basketball.
Yeah, I think that would probably backfire and not be good for the SEC. I don't know, and I hate it. See a Pooh Paul go to Ole Miss, or this year, some of the players that are going to Ole Miss or other Texas or wherever. Hate to see them in conference, but look, they're leaving. They're going to be going somewhere. It's going to be a big weekend also at Gwatney Chevrolet. We were out there on Tuesday, and James Miller told us last week hurt them. They had a snow day where they were closed. They went home early, let their employees get home safely. And then there were 2 days where everybody was just stuck inside. Nobody was out car shopping, so they had a slow week. And now it's the end of the month, and they got to sell these cars. So right now is a great time to buy a car. Gwatney Chevrolet is offering you some fantastic deals. They're going to make everything happen. Whatever you need, they're going to do everything they can to get you in that car that you want. So take advantage of it. You're in control right now. This is one of the times that you can really take advantage of the dealership and get a good deal. So go out to Gwatney Chevrolet, James Street exit in Jacksonville. You can go to the website, GwatneyChevrolet.com, see all the inventory, see all the deals that they have right now. And remember, trade-in value, still awesome. You're going to get a great deal on the car, truck, SUV that you trade in. You'll be very pleased with that, and then you're going to get a good deal on top of it. So if you've been thinking about a new car, highly suggest act today. And James even said, look, tomorrow it's a new month, but we're going to keep the deals for you for tomorrow. They'll take care of you Saturday. If it just doesn't work out today, tomorrow's going to be a nice day to get outside. Thinking about it, haven't pulled the trigger, I'm telling you, right now is a very good time to go to Gwatney Chevrolet. They're going to make it happen for you. Gwatney Chevrolet, James Street exit in Jacksonville. Joe, do you have big plans this weekend?
A lot of relaxing. That I don't have anything going on. And, of course, things always come up. And so you play that as it comes. But mostly just sitting back and maybe watch some movies and watch some sports.
Yeah, I've made my appointment with my CPA. I'm going to go see him next Friday, a week from today. So I think I'm going to get all my tax stuff and everything I need in line tomorrow and just sit in front of the TV and do what I need to do tax-wise and watch. Well, you got Arkansas at noon. Should be done around 2. Arkansas baseball at 2 against Charlotte. Watch that. And got SEC good games all day tomorrow for SEC basketball. Now, Sunday, I don't know. I have to find something to do after church, but some outside projects my wife has me wanting to work on. Put up some new lights.
That's always a thing when it gets warmer outside.
I know it's been too cold, or it's either been freezing or raining on the weekend. I haven't been able to get outside and do anything. And it's going to be nice enough this weekend. May want to get outside and do something. Oh. Well, I hope you have a good weekend.
You too.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Monday, we'll be back. We'll, of course, talk about Arkansas, Charlotte, Arkansas, South Carolina. Get ready for the Vanderbilt game. Drink our coffee for that 9 o'clock start. We'll see if we can get Matt Jones on here to talk a little baseball with us. Of course, Joe Klein will come in, talk some basketball with us. So it'll be a good Monday. I hope you can join us. I hope you have a great weekend. Stick around, though. Drive Time Sports is coming up next.